Shields up, Iron Breakers, and welcome to another edition of the Cast. I'm here with FightinCowboy. We just had the release of a new DLC for Lies of P, a new demo for Nioh 3, as well as there's a little bit of Summer Games Fest to talk about and all of that good stuff. How you doing, Cowboy?
Pretty good. Yeah. Enjoying the summer.
Yeah, it was very annoying for you, I imagine, the weekend that you went out for that wedding, and then it's like, wait, Lies of P shadow drop? Wait, Nioh demo shadow
was a lot,
drop?
But honestly, I just kind of like tuned out of everything and just because it was a pretty short vacation. Like we flew out Wednesday night, like we got the kids to bed, left. Thursday we did Universal, Friday we did the wedding, Saturday we came home. So it was really quick. So even though there was a lot of stuff going on, it was pretty easy to just just tune it all out and just enjoy the trip.
Yeah, it's good to hear at least. But I figured we'd talk a little bit about all of the stuff that, well, not all of the things that were announced because there's just like so many games announced at the showcase. I thought that one of the interesting memes of that showcase is the fact that everybody keeps bringing up Silk Song. But it's not actually Silk Song announcement like in the Nintendo one. Oh yeah, here's this reel of like 10 games, and then there's like 2 seconds of Silk Song
in it. Yeah,
and then Xbox like here's the ROG Ally.
Here's our new handheld. Look, you can play Silk Song on it.
It's like what?
Where's it at though?
And at the Summer Games Fest was the worst because you probably didn't see this, but there was this game that was announced, Deadpool VR, or whatever it was. And the guy who is doing voice it, which is not Ryan Reynolds, at least I don't think it's Ryan Reynolds. The guy goes, "Hey Jeff, could you do me a solid real quick and skip that Silkbind trailer and play this one instead?" And I think everybody at the show is probably thinking, "Oh, there's definitely going to be a Silkbind trailer if they're going to pull into this meme." But no, there was nothing. It's so weird.
It's messing with people constantly.
Yeah, but yeah,
it's funny though.
Silk
it's definitely going into the realm of like Half-Life 3 at this point, where it's like it's coming, it's coming.
Oh man, but it's still coming out this year. I'm assuming. I mean, at this point, I think the only thing that makes sense is like a shadow drop at the Game Awards. Can you imagine shadow dropping?
Yeah, Silk Song. Part of the problem though is it's been like Hollow Knight, fantastic game. But let's be honest, it was like a indie game. It was, I think, one of the first games Team Cherry did. It might have been like their second or third.
I think it was their first game. They had a large
catalog. Yeah. And I'm sure Silk Song will be good, but my concern is that people have been anticipating it for so long at this point. I'm worried people are going to hype themselves up for disappointment.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not that it will be a bad game, but I think people are going to be like, it's going to be
this game's going to cure cancer.
Yeah, right? Like, it's going to be a sick Metroidvania, I'm sure. It's
going to be Metroidvania, but also open world and MMORPG, bro, all at the same time.
Yeah. I hope people just aren't, like, pre-exciting themselves.
I need
for it
5,000 hours of content out of this game. Yeah. Minimum. It's getting up to that level. But we were talking before the show, and I was telling you, okay, out of all the things that were announced, give me like a couple that would be your picks, and then I'll give you like my picks of the stuff that I've seen at the show.
Probably across all the shows?
Yeah, across all the shows, just like in no particular order, because like it's all.
I mean, Nioh 3 demo obviously is probably the biggest. Lies of P DLC, which we've both played, that was good. Mortal Shell 2 looks good. Onimusha looks pretty good. Ill looked pretty fun.
Especially kicking the baby. That's
the baby kicking. I'm trying to remember, the Xbox showcase had something. I need to like see a full list.
I know.
Those are the things that like immediately stand out.
I know exactly.
Resident Evil 9. Yeah. Resident Evil 9 looked really good.
I know exactly what was the game that called out to your attention at the Xbox showcase. It's Clockwork Revolution from In Exile.
Yeah. That one, very, very BioShocky. Yeah, that one looked really cool.
I thought the first time I saw that game, I thought that it was going to be just like a straight up shooter type game, and that was it, like a first person shooter. And now it's like, oh no, it's an RPG. It's doing all these things. I was like, oh my god, and I love the British accent that they got going on those characters. Like the little doll, you pick it up, and it's like, get your filthy pickers off me. I was like, oh my god, that's gonna be so good. And then the whole scene where the other guy gets killed. I almost wish they hadn't revealed that. Where it's like, there's the clearly the boss guy, and then there's this minion behind him, and you're just addressing the minion like he's the main guy. And then the boss turns around, just like slaps him with like a trophy, murders him instantly. That was friggin' sweet.
Yeah, Xbox had Ninja Gaiden 4, which that's been announced.
Ninja
before,
Gaiden 4,
obviously,
yeah.
but that looks good. Grounded 2, I loved Grounded, so that'll be fun. I actually really enjoyed the Indiana Jones game, so I'm sure I'll enjoy the DLC. I don't expect anything crazy out of it, but it should be fun.
So out of the ones that you haven't mentioned yet, I'll rattle some off. I think they showed something for Crimson Desert in one of the shows. But either way, Crimson Desert's like one of the games.
It's one of those that should be good. Yeah,
it is good. I've played it. I wanna play the real thing now.
Oh.
It's like, no, that game is very good. Yeah. But yeah, Crimson Desert, Pragmata. Pragmata looks real good, and
yeah, I've already been seeing some lore discussion about like it's a fucking Mega Man game. Look at her hand; it's a Mega Man game. She can like modify stuff, and I'm like, that would be funny if it's like it's not directly, but it's like a soft reboot of Mega Man as a franchise.
Maximilian dude actually played it at Summer Games Fest, and he made a video talking about it. Apparently the mechanic of that is that you're going to be shooting monsters, well, creatures, third-person shooter with a girl doing hacking things, and at the same time you're playing like a mini game. I'm assuming like with the D-pad or something. You're playing a hacking mini game at the same time as you're doing like third-person shooting action adventure-y stuff. And he said that he went there twice because he liked it so much. So I think that's a pretty good sign that Pragmata's in the right direction. One of the ones that called out to me instantly, and you're probably not even going to remember this one, Romeo is a Dead Man. You know Suda 51?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. I know which one you're talking about now. I was like, wait.
Suda 51 bullshit.
Yeah. It's just like a fever dream that had excessive amounts of mushrooms involved. Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's going to be fun. There's I don't usually do fighting games, but Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls looks real good. In the last
there was a lot of fighting game announcements. There was that, the Invincible one, or a couple others that popped up.
Yeah, but like the Tokon was the one that like just, especially because it's Arxis, and the last fighting game I played was actually theirs, was Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which is very, very good. Obviously, top of my list, Onimusha, because I'm super excited. I've never played the originals. Did you play the originals for Onimusha?
Capcom sent me the remasters for 1 and 2, which I've been meaning to get to, and like shadow drops keep happening. So I'm like, here's Oblivion, okay. Here's Lies of P DLC and a Nioh 3 demo, and so that's like within the next couple weeks. I'm gonna visit, because I've heard they're not all that long. But I should be able to knock out both in probably like a week. But I do want to get through those to at least like familiarize myself with the franchise, because I've watched the anime so far, and that's it.
I didn't even know there was an anime, but yeah, I know
it's not bad. It's pretty cool.
I know nothing.
It's a little junk foody.
Yeah.
But so from what I understand from the anime, basically, I don't know if all the games follow Musashi, but the series I watched at least follows Musashi. He's like this legendary swordsman, and he was a historical figure in Japan that, if I recall, he became well known because he was like basically the dude that popularized a dual sword fight style. And so the anime kind of centers around him as this legendary swordsman, and he just like sets off he's like, oh, we gotta go up here and take care of this. There's probably demons. I'm gonna kill demons. And he has this gauntlet that has an Oni that's like trapped inside of it. And so when he puts on the gauntlet, it like taps into his soul force or life force or whatever you want to call it, and gives him like, split second reactions and reflexes, and basically makes him superhuman. But the more he fights with the gauntlet, the more it pulls from his humanity. And so he's, it's this like balancing act of like using the gauntlet to kill demons that would overpower you without letting the gauntlet itself take what makes you a human. This is all just the anime. I don't know how much of that is accurate to the games, but that premise at least was pretty cool. So the gameplay, it looks good, but I will say it looks like watching some of the combat sequences in the latest trailer, I thought it looked a little slow.
That's exactly what I want. I want
Okay.
it. That's exactly what I want. I'm like, yes. I love how you said that almost as like in a bad way. I was like, it looks a little slow. And I'm like, yes, that's great. All these games are going fast.
Parry buttons. Slow it down.
Like, look at my arm, cowboy. Look, I'm all like bandaged up and shit.
I know, you got a fucking sock on your wrist and then an elbow compression, and you're just
I'm just dying. Okay, I need games that are
you're gonna
slow.
have a walker to get out of the bed. You just gotta scoot yourself up, and
sometimes I have another compression one for my right knee as well. Like, I'm all messed up, dude. I'm destroyed. But I'm still working out. I'm still sticking to the Eric's plan. Never
good.
stop.
You gotta, man.
Gotta fight through it. Fight through the pain. But yeah, so Onimusha is probably the one that I'm the most excited for. Mortal Shell, I'm hesitant because it's like Mortal Shell 1 was okay, but it was not my favorite.
I enjoyed it. It was indie Souls. As long as you approached it as like, oh, this is like bite-sized Souls, and didn't expect like crazy depth or story. I think it was good for what it was. I'll be curious if they keep that same approach in 2, or if they try to like expand it to where it's like the size of a proper Souls-like. Because I think, I think that'll be the deciding factor with whether or not it's a hit or not. Because
I think they're definitely expanding it, but the core mechanic is definitely the same, where you pick up those armors.
Well, and I think that's the problem where a lot of games kind of stumble in their Souls-like efforts, is they try to be big Souls. They try to do what Dark Souls did, and then they, either the world design isn't right, or the interconnectivity. Like Lies of P is a perfect example. I think Lies of P is a phenomenal Souls-like. I think it is a one of the best Souls-likes out there. But in terms of like that feeling of exploration that Souls games have, Lies of P does not have that. Very linear. And then on like the flip side, you had Lords of the Fallen, which came out at the same time. I think it nails that aspect of Souls games, like which way are you gonna go? And no, this way takes you here, and this way takes you here, and especially with the
and you get
mechanic.
the two worlds, which I really liked.
Yeah, but it kind of stumbled not only on performance but also on some of the more janky aspects with like the co-op and whatnot. And I think I don't know. FromSoft has been doing it.
Co-op was actually
so
really
long.
good. The co-op of that game was like some of the best co-op ever in a Souls-like, because you could play the whole game together.
You could, but there was like weird hiccups that would occur. Like, you'd go and get your blacksmith, and then it would be there for you, but it wouldn't be there for the teammate. So you'd have to like hop into their world and get the blacksmith. Because we did a full
there were some
playthrough at launch,
like
and
that, yeah.
It was just a little. It was because like at this, and now from what I understand now, it's like fully co-op. But like at start, there were like weird instances of fuckery like that, where they like wanted a full co-op experience, but it wasn't. So you'd have these discrepancies between player versus host, which didn't really make sense, because they were like, it's do the whole adventure together. By the way, you don't get to upgrade shit. He does that. You're like, wait, how the fuck does that work?
But I remember that me and my friend Wada, we went through and I think we platinumed it. No, we didn't platinum it, because it had like those stupid online armors or something that you needed to go.
No, not doing that shit.
We got really close, and then when we realized, wait, what is this multiplayer? Oh, and then we started doing the multiplayer stuff, and it's like, oh, you get so little of this currency. What the hell? They probably overhauled the whole thing with their 2.0 thing, which apparently
I don't think
like
I ever even
different.
platinumed Dark Souls 1 or Demon Souls, just because it's something similar, like max out a fire weapon, max out a whole, like anytime the platinum requires me to just grind out upgrades, I'm just like, no, I'm good. I've had my fun.
I
feel like platinum should be based around like completing the content of the game, not around fucking grinding Silver Knights for hours on end so that you can get the final spell, because no, you can't get fucking connectivity to anybody.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I've platinumed the original Dark Souls, and I platinumed Dark Souls 2 on PS3, and I came close to platinum Dark Souls 2 on PS4, and then I realized, what am I doing with my life? This is such a bad idea, because you had to do so much nonsense to platinum that thing on PS4 that I was like, nah, this is not worth the time. But yeah, so Mortal Shell 2, Code Vein 2 was also announced.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I did not see that trailer yet, but I mean, the first one was okay. It was, arcade anime Souls. I had enough fun with it.
Yeah, well, the thing that happened with the first one that I remember, I don't remember why, but for whatever reason, there were a bunch of people that hated it. Like, I did one stream of it, and there was so many people just coming in just hating on the game nonstop. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I don't even want to stream this anymore, you friggin' weirdos. And the interesting thing is Code Vein is the reason you and I met. Was at that event in San Francisco. That's when we first met.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Code Vein. We met at the event, and then we went to hang out at Twitch headquarters, which I only got in because of you.
I remember the Twitch hangout. I don't remember the event.
Yeah, it was because of Code Vein. Yeah.
I remember the Twitch hangout because I remember I was in there and I was like, man, y'all just don't fucking work. You don't go get a beer and we're gonna play foosball. I'm like, no wonder no moderation gets done on this fucking service. Y'all are just beating your dicks all day in the office.
Oh man, at least I can say that Twitch paid us dinner, so I guess that's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Code Vein 2. Then something very interesting. Did you see the game Beast of Reincarnation?
Yes. Yes. It's like the biggest dick slap to the face for Nintendo fans. Game Freak makes Pokemon game. Game Freak makes game for Xbox. Look at these visuals. Look at these animations. Pokemon fans around the world saw that and they're scratching their head like, what the fuck is this? Why can't we have? Why? Shut up and enjoy your slop. Here's a second game with a couple different Pokemon. Pay us another $80, you fucks. Yeah, that's Nintendo for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn. But it's like, I don't have a lot of faith, man, because it's Game Freak. Like the frame rate was already atrocious in that trailer.
Bro, I hope it is an absolute banger just to add the biggest insult to Pokemon fans. Just to be like, yeah, how's it feel? Here's your 3.5D slop once again with your empty world because they can't fucking populate grass on the Switch, even though Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has insane fucking environmental design.
You don't even have to talk about Xenoblade Chronicles 2. We have X now. X is so much more impressive.
Yeah, we have 3. X. I'm sorry. I have like a vendetta against Nintendo when it comes to Pokemon. I fucking hate Nintendo for they have bastard and all the Power World shit. Fuck Nintendo. All my homies hate Nintendo right now.
It's like I thought I was bad when it came to talking about Pokemon, but I'm glad it just went off and so it's not just me. I do that all the time.
The thing is, I grew up playing Pokemon and Nintendo
so it's even
treats
worse
Pokemon.
for you.
Yeah, Nintendo treats Pokemon how we treat pals in Pal World. Like, get fucking in there and make me money, bitch. You want new graphics? Shut the fuck up. People will buy this slop again. You're not getting anything.
Not only they'll buy it again, they'll buy 2 copies because they want the sword and the shield, the X and the Y, the white and the black. So they want everything. It's so dumb.
Then when somebody finally does something like Pal World,
yeah,
it's like, that's a goofy thing. What do? They fucking piss their pants and call their lawyers in. Oh, somebody took our idea. Fucking, I fucking despise it so much.
It was.
We're gonna copyright gliders. We invented gliding. No, you fucking didn't. That shit's been around for years. Oh, we invented to throw the POW in the sphere. Oh yeah, really? Let's talk about how you ripped half your fucking designs from Toriyama. You creatively bankrupt fucks.
From friggin' Dragon Quest.
Nintendo makes me so angry, Rui. I can't.
Absolutely.
It's like a fucking trigger word for me now, man. I can't.
Did you buy a Switch too?
No.
You're gonna have to.
I'm gonna buy it for Duskbloods, and then I'm gonna sell it when I'm done with Duskbloods.
I want to also play Metroid Prime 4. So probably around there is when I'm gonna take the plunge. But yeah. But I also want to play Duskbloods, of course. I have way more faith in Duskbloods after playing Night Rain. Night Rain's so good. Like I can't stop playing that thing
because it's still a Switch game.
You think it won't go well?
I think you're gonna be trying to play, and then Mr. Wi-Fi Warrior has the objective to hunt you down, and he's fucking rubber banding across the map while you're like, all right, I guess I'm dead.
There are going to be situations like that, especially like I have this friend of mine that loves Smash Bros. So he's like super into it, and every time his biggest complaint would always be, "God damn it, why don't these people like get some? Like, listen, guys, I have one
the
right
Ethernet,
here.
the USB Ethernet connectivity for Switch. Yeah.
Listen. I have one of these. Look.
It's like $10.
I have it within hand's reach. For all of you guys, they're like Wi-Fi. Like, listen, Wi-Fi ain't never gonna be as good as cable. Okay, I don't care if you're like, oh, but I have the Super Linksys 5. I don't give a fuck, bro. But it's got 5 antennas. I don't care. It means nothing. You can have a fucking satellite link, which is probably even worse. But yeah, it's like, no, stop. Just get a cable. Put a cable on your console.
Just
Okay?
hardwire that shit.
Yeah, just please, for all of us, please do it. But so yeah, Beast of Reincarnation, Clockwork Revolution. There's a game that's being made by these guys, Owlcat Games, I think, which supposedly it's Mass Effect, but in the Expanse universe.
Yeah, I saw that. Owlcat's done
Osiris
Pathfinder.
Reborn.
I want to say, so they know what they're doing with games like that, so it should be solid. I love Expanse too. Expanse is I think it's one of the best modern pieces of like sci-fi.
I haven't watched the whole thing. I remember watching the first.
You should watch and
first
read.
season.
It's good. Expanse is very good.
I mean, I like sci-fi, and Disney did kill my favorite sci-fi.
Series, you want to talk sci-fi that makes me uncomfortable? I started watching. So I started playing Magic again, and while I was building decks, I just wanted something on in the background. So I put on Pantheon on Netflix.
I don't know
what that is. It's about the idea of like a person having their brain uploaded and encoded like into the cloud, and like the ethical implications, and like anyway. It gets.
That reminds me of Altered Carbon. Wasn't that Altered Carbon? Yeah.
Well, Altered Carbon was more like perpetual living by just downloading yourself into a new body.
Yeah.
This is like they're trying to preserve the conscious of a person, and so they like digitize it, and then that person is like effectively in like a cage, and they break out, and they're just going hog wild on the internet, and they're like, this is going to be happening to more people. We're uploaded intelligence called UI. And it's just, I don't know, there's some like, especially seeing how fast AI is moving, without the limitations that it probably should have. Watching that, I'm like, man, we're fucking cooked.
We absolutely are. That's sooner or later we are cooked. Like, you remember
one of those, like, it's sci-fi, but it's hitting a lot closer to home than it should type shows.
You remember that movie from like the 80s or the 70s, whatever it was, War Games? Yeah, we're coming up on that. It's not long now. It was ahead of its time. Then there was also something that I've never played. They announced a remaster of this, and I want to play it. Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh yeah.
You've played that or no? The original?
Not the PlayStation version. I played the Game Boy Advance version, but I probably put about 100 hours into that.
Damn. But
Tactics is I don't know if I'll still end up enjoying it, just because for the most part I think turn-based games and me kind of like fell out of love, with the exception of Expedition 33, obviously, because it's the GOAT. But I don't know. I mean, I'm going to get it. I'm going to check it out, and I hope I can have fun with it like I used to, because Tactics is really cool. Like the closest modern thing I can think of would probably be Fire Emblem, with like the jobs type system. It's a little more in depth than Tactics, but that's kind of the idea, is like leveling your character and figuring out their jobs and branching paths to get your various abilities and building them how you want. It's a cool game.
We'll see. But yeah, that's kind of like most of the stuff that I can remember from the show. I wanted to ask you about a game that I think you played recently as well. I don't know if they showed anything on the show, but it came around to the Steam demos either shortly before or after the show. Hell Is Us.
Oh, it's good.
It is, right?
It's good. Yeah. Yeah. I was like the second game in the recent indie showcase I did, and I was like, yup, this is getting like weeks of streams when it comes out.
Yeah, because it's like they don't hold your hand at all. I think that
there's no fucking hand holding, and the combats.
It's simple. It's for what we have right now.
It rewards aggression.
Yeah,
rewards aggression, which is what I like. If you're attacking, you're gonna keep healing. Your resource that you spend to do big attacks, you get by attacking, which I like that model of like builder spender. The weapons level up with you. Like, even playing the little bit of the demo, I was like, well, where do I go with this? I gotta find my way back in. I was going all over the place, exploring and having fun. And I think
your mic's cutting off a little bit. Do you have maybe your noise gate to aggro on
No, I think it's because I was fucking with my face like this probably.
Okay. But yeah, I started playing it, and my my expectations were super low because I remember when I saw the first gameplay of it, I was like, man, this looks giga janky. I don't think I'll like this at all. But I was like, I'll check it out just out of curiosity. So I started playing it, and first is like, this is super immersive. Like I was just like straight up, I'm in there. The problem is performance is terrible. I'm assuming on your 4090 or whatever, it was fine.
You just gotta have a 4090 rig. God, just have a God Gamer rig. That's it. That's
yeah, it's like my 7900 XTX like struggling. No,
yeah,
but
it's just not good enough. I mean, God, doesn't every gamer have a 14900 and a 4090?
Yeah, of course. But the issue I think was actually they didn't do shader caching. So all of the assets are getting load first time so if they fix that, I think they can actually optimize a little bit. But yeah, once I fiddled with the settings a little bit during the gameplay, it was pretty much playable. And I liked
a couple. Did you do the Ninja Gaiden Ragebound? Did you try that one?
No, I haven't tried that one yet.
Yeah, that one's pretty fun. And then I also, this just came out, but it's called The Altars. That one's pretty trippy too. I would check that out if you have time.
Time is one of the things that right now I do not have. I still haven't finished Expedition 33, dude. I gotta go back and play that. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So let me talk about Altars for a second. So this episode, you in this game, you like crash land. You're on a planet. You wake up. The rest of the crew is dead. And you make your way over to the ship because the ship landed separately from the pods. And then you have a set number of days to get off the planet before it like cycles too close to the sun and you just get solar flared out of existence. And so you need to, get the resources, get a kitchen up and running, survival crafting style game with a little bit of base building going on. But you only know what you know. So instead you use the supercomputer on the ship to make like an imprint of your brain and then find a potential branching path to create an alter of yourself, like Rurikhan, but at a key point in his life, a certain inflection, he went a different way. And then there's this birthing pod that accelerates the growth of that organism. So it's you and basically a bunch of your fucking clones on this ship trying to survive, and everybody getting along as well as they can.
Yeah, I bet I would get along real well with myself.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept for sure. I want to go back. That's another, like, when I have more time, I want to go back to a game.
But that one fully released, right? That's not a demo.
Correct. Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah. It's like it's so many things coming out this year. It's absolute insanity. Like I still haven't finished Kazan, haven't finished Expedition 33, haven't finished Tainted Grail, haven't finished Doom Dark Ages.
Oh my goodness, Rory, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, dude, I'm like, I'm completely lost. But tell you what, I'm playing the crap out of Night Rain.
We got Laggy dropping in what, a week, 2 weeks?
Laggy should be next week, I think. Yeah. So I'm covering Laggy, and then I don't know, but I think that the next one that I need to get to is Expedition 33, and then I'll figure out what I'm doing. We got
Death Stranding 2 coming up.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to play that. I mean, I would imagine that probably the review copies are already out. And PlayStation hasn't gotten me one, so it's like, oh,
bro, I didn't get one either. But I don't. So here's the thing: they've been sending me like every remaster, which like I never cover because being a Let's Play channel, I'm not gonna redo a 40 episode series. And I was like, hey, I'll wait till we have something new. They're like, no problem.
Then they have something new and you get nothing.
Yeah, here's the funny. Here's the part that I don't get though, bro. So they sent me what was it, like Days Gone remaster, and I was like, thanks, not gonna have time. And then I didn't get Death Stranding, and I heard the review copies are out, so I emailed them like, hey folks, if it's not too late, want to jump on the review batch. And then like 2 days later, they're like, thanks for reaching out, here's your Stellar Blade PC copy. I'm like, not what I reached out for, thank you, but also what about the other thing? Is that can we make that other thing happen?
No, but it's like,
but honestly, I think Death Stranding, that's like one of it is like, I'm not opposed to missing out on the review, because that is a game that the community aspect of it is huge. So playing that right at launch with everyone else and seeing all the signs and the bridges and everything popping up everywhere, I think that might actually enrich the experience of it.
I don't know, because like I liked when I played it, when I played the first one, because there was still enough of stuff with people from the review community,
Yeah.
and that one I actually did a proper review for because I had enough time to play the first one. So I was surprised that for the second one they're just like, nope. Oh, okay. There's
I mean, I'm
too
playing
many
it
leaks.
regardless.
Yeah.
I don't care. The first one, that's one of those games I don't even know. Like, I still don't even know if it's a good game. It's just
It
an
is.
experience.
I like it. It's what I always say about Death Stranding.
So weird.
It's like think Elite Dangerous, ferrying goods from one station to the other, except you're Reedus, you're Norman Reedus, and you're just like carrying the stuff around. It's the same.
Norman Reedus and his amazing fetus, part 2, baby. Here we go.
It is really, I really enjoyed it. I really liked the first one. So yeah.
It's I struggled to get into it at first. Like the first probably 2 hours, I was like, I'm still not sure about this. But like once it clicks, like it gets its fucking hooks in you hard. And you're just like, once it clicked, I'd be like, oh, the kids are in bed. Time to spend 5 hours building fucking highways.
My thing was
just put on like a vibe playlist in the background, and I'm just like, raiding this camp, get your supplies, like, because that's like for the get the lady up to the base thing in the mountains. I built the entire fucking highway. I was just like, we can go all the way. We can do this.
I did a zip line that would go all the way from like the beginning all the way to
yeah,
the
see
end.
that would have made more sense, but I basically built out like every highway in the game. It's just like, we're doing highways.
That's
highways.
fine. I mean,
yeah.
But I was like,
that's
no,
the beauty of it, though, man.
This is more efficient.
Freedom of approach.
It was cool because I had part of the zip line structure made by other players, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. There's one over there. Cool. I'm making this one over here, and it's like link and everything. I always
I did a zip line in the I think it was the west region when you're up in the mountains and it's just all snow. I did zip lines up there because initially I like did a delivery up there in the bike. And I was the most stubborn player on earth. I refused to leave my bike. So I would drift that shit down mountaintops if that's what it took. And then finally I was like, okay, let me make some zip lines here. This is getting kind of excessive.
My zip line
hopping over rocks so I can keep going on it and shit.
My zipline infrastructure would cover literally all of the quests. So it's like all of the side quests. I had a zipline for it for every location. Everything's connected. I connected America. I did it. It was great. No, but I enjoy that. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to play it because I have like so much stuff on my backlog, but I'll see. I do want to play it at some point for sure. But we should talk about one of the important things that dropped, and that is Nioh 3. So Nioh 3, the demo, not the actual game. So this is definitely one of your favorite ones. And the thing for me is we got to establish something. Nioh 3, not Nioh 3, let's say Nioh 2 with all the DLCs. Nioh 2 or Elden Ring?
I mean, honestly, I don't think you can really just like A/B compare them because it's a different experience.
I know. I'm saying for your personal taste, your pick, you choose. I mean, I know that the right answer is both, obviously, but I'm saying like if you had to choose.
But I mean, you can't just pick because like if I just want to like jump in and play for a little bit, then yeah, Nioh is going to be a better option because it's mission based. If I'm like I need to go on a grand old adventure, then there's Elden Ring. But the thing with Elden Ring is it's a 50-hour commitment.
Yep.
I don't always want a 50-hour commitment. Whereas Nioh, I can blitz through Nioh in like 20 or 30 if I want. But then you have like Night Rain, where it's like, hey, this is bite-sized Elden Ring. Takes 35 minutes and you're done. So, I mean, I don't know.
If you have to choose,
I hate the
you have to choose between. You have to choose between the two children.
I'm not going to choose. Fuck you. I'm not going to choose.
Refusal, damn it! I had like this whole thing planned out because then we're gonna go like, okay, what about Dark Souls 3, Nioh 2 or Dark Souls 3? No, I was gonna keep going. I was gonna torture you.
This is unironically one of my least favorite things about being a streamer is when you're playing a game and people are like,
ask you,
Cowboy, this or that, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I fucking hate the dichotomy of it. I'm like, no, I'm gonna play fucking all of them. I'm just going to play all of them. I'm going to enjoy each game for what it is. I'm not making this decision. It's like asking to choose between like your wife's left boob and your right boob. Like, no, I like both titties. I'm gonna enjoy both titties. You're not making me fucking choose one titty here, okay? That is what it is.
All right, fair enough. So,
It's a package deal. They come together, Ruri. Can't just separate them like that, okay?
okay. So, this is like a really big demo, though. I feel like there's almost 10 hours of content in there. If you're trying to like do everything, which was surprising to me. I didn't expect it. They're usually not that big. But at the same time, I also feel like there's not massive differences between this and Nioh 2. I mean, obviously, open world.
I mean,
open world and the ninja swapping.
Ninja changes up a lot. Ninja changes a lot, and it's hard to just tell with the demo because I don't know like all those ninja weapons, are those completely gone from samurai? Because people have already found stuff like single katana for ninja. They've seen like clips, or they found like one in the game or whatnot. I saw stuff popping up, so we don't know the full breadth of if certain weapons are exclusionary to just samurai or just ninja. Like I mean, certain stuff like odachi, you know, a ninja with an odachi don't make no sense. So I think there's going to be some exclusion between certain weapon types. But I know that's probably been one of the biggest complaints I've seen from past players is, you know, if you were a fist user or a Sarigama user, like, yeah, the ninja stuff is fun, but you're missing the depth that you used to have in the stance system.
I mean,
and so is that depth just going to be absent, or
you can't just play ninja? That's the thing, unless maybe later
I know
down the
you
line.
can't.
Yeah, because
I know you can't, but it's the point that
pulse,
certain
so you can't purify.
Yeah, certain weapons have less depth is the problem.
Yeah.
Like I had fun playing with fists in the demo, but you know, it was like, hey, here's some of the best things people liked about fists, and we've just worked that into the ninja kit. But like fists used to be like you dance through stances and build up your unbound combo and then go into limitless and just nuke stuff, or go into the one punch man build. And like that's not a thing anymore. And so I think that's definitely divisive for a lot of folks in the community, even more so than the existence of a ninja stance or the open world aspect of it. I actually really like how ninja works now. The idea of like, as you're dealing damage, your tools are refilling. So you're constantly throwing out your ninpo or your ninja, you know, your ninja magic, whatever you want to call it now. Omio, I'm not all that big a fan of the change of how they kind of like took soul cores and integrated those into Omio. On one hand, I kind of like the idea of like, oh, this is how I get my talismans now instead of worrying about a tree. I don't know, like the idea of summoning your yokai via a little soul core box. That I felt was, because in Nioh it's Nioh 2, it's very instantaneous, and now it's like, you know, you got to back up and you're like, go yokai, and they like pop out and do their thing, and that felt a little on the slow side. But there were like 3 other categories that were just locked in the demo, so maybe there's something that's not the Omio box, but it's like a yokai infusion or just a faster on use or whatever the case may be. So I don't know. I'm gonna look at it like this. I was more impressed with it than I was with the Nioh 2 Alpha. The Nioh 2 Alpha I thought was a step back. And then when we finally got to the demo for Nioh 2, where they were like showing off new enemies and the new weapon types, I was like, okay, this is more in line with what I'd expect. Whereas right now, the Alpha for Nioh 3 was enough that I was like, yeah, this is good. I want them to keep cooking here.
The thing that is like, I still feel like the movement is a little bit stiff. But it feels super familiar. Like if you've played Nioh, it moves pretty much the same that it moved in the previous games and all that. But I still feel like part of that, there's a certain stiffness to the way that the character moves that bothers me a little bit. And there's an adaptation period there. But yeah, we have open world mechanics. How did you feel about that? The fact that I think the whole game's going to be open world, right?
Well, more open zone. It grew on me the more I played, because especially I liked how like as you'd complete the little objectives and you'd hit 4 out of 4, it would just mark little things you missed in the zone. Like, hey, there's you know, some stuff over here and there's a treasure chest here that you could grab. So I thought that was cool. Just like, hey, here's the treasures you missed after you get your 4 main objectives. And the fact that like each zone had just like a couple things that you could do, I think took away from the overwhelming feeling that I think Elden Ring's open world had when you first got into it. You're like, there's like, how do I do this? You know, and I would do like the ant pathing where I'm just like combing through the map to find stuff. I didn't feel like I had to do that in the Nioh 3 demo. It felt like I jump in the zone and I'm like, okay, well, I see some structures over here. I see some structures over here. And it was kind of obvious, like, all right, I'm gonna go hit this, go hit this. Okay, I'm at 4-4. Cool.
Why
So
do you
I don't know. It felt easier to explore.
why do you think that it's open zones and not full on open world? Because what I understood from the demo is that you keep playing and the map just keeps like expanding as you unlock more and more things. Like after we do that castle that's in the demo, I would assume that we just keep progressing forward. There's
Keep
even
going.
yeah, because like there's even a zone, a part of the map that is like it's closed off, but you can see that there's a bridge, and that bridge keeps going towards
Bridge goes
another
connect.
area.
I
Yeah.
don't.
I think it's
I
just
don't
straight
know.
up open world. It just also
This
has
this
those
might
missions.
be a Mandela effect type thing, but I know chat kept talking about open zone, not open world, and I think I was like, yeah, open zone, not open world. But I think about how in Nioh and Nioh 2, how we went through regions. I think that might be in my head. I'm like, oh, well, it was regional based, so I think it might be regional based, and as opposed to full open world, I would think of it. I don't know, and the way I see it working is like Limgrave. Limgrave is one open world, and then we would go to Liurnia, and Liurnia would be one open world, and then we go to Caelid, and Caelid would be one open world, and that's kind of how I'm viewing the. Maybe it is just fully open world, but in my head, for some reason, I'm already sectionalizing it off into region-based zones.
Yeah.
That might be completely off base, but in my head, I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. I don't know why. I've already convinced myself that's what it is. I don't have any evidence that points to that, but in my head, I'm just like, yeah, of course. That's why would it be anything else? That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, but yeah, to me, I think it's going to be open world. I think that it's just like the more you play, the more it just opens up and you can go to other places. The thing is, we're gonna need like a mount because the map is pretty.
Yeah, it's just ninja runs.
Yeah, about that.
Do the little Naruto run.
So I know that a lot of people are going to have this question. I don't feel quite as strongly about Nioh as you do, so you'll probably be able to answer it better. But what does this do to you that Rise of the Ronin didn't? I'm assuming combat depth is going to be one of them because that's a pretty obvious one.
So I think a big thing is, one, it's the fantasy aspect. Like playing through Rise of the Ronin, you know, it's like, hey, here's a human. Hey, here's a big human. Hey, here's a human, but he's fast. Hey, here's two smaller humans. And like that shit got, I mean, I don't like it in Assassin's Creed. I wasn't going to like it there. Whereas like the various yokai that you're up against, I think that adds a lot more variety into the combat. Like figuring out what's the best way to kill each yokai. Oh, this guy's flying. I hit him with kunais. He's going to drop out. This guy, I want to circle around, hit his back. Like Magatsu Warrior, if you circle behind him and you break his crystals, you know, like that, I think adds to the combat depth a lot. And then just, I mean, the world, honestly, I don't think Rise of the Ronin looked very good. Like, I think one of the biggest moments for me was when you like first get your glider and then you're gliding and you look down and it just looked like fucking flat. It was just flat. And I was just like, that does not look good. And by comparison, I mean, maybe it's because we just don't have a glider here, but I thought the world looked, well, and to be clear, I do think the engine is dated here. Like just running around the world. I mean, there was tons of like, what is this PS3 looking game comments as expected. I think Nioh does tend to sell itself better on PC compared to PlayStation, just because they crank it up to 4K textures and everything, which certainly helps. But just the world design of going around in like the little towns and then the crucibles and all that, I enjoyed exploring. Like the 10 hours I spent exploring the Nioh 3 demo, I had more fun than the 25 I spent in Rise of the Ronin by far.
Yeah. It's like it seemed to me like this one would be more up your alley, and it doesn't seem to have quite as many pointless things to do in the map as we did for Rise of Ronin. Rise of Ronin had a bunch of
Rise
like,
of the Ronin. You'd get in a zone and it was like a fucking checklist. Like, oh, well, there's 2 cats and 3 side missions, and you can get some samurai points, and then here's some weapon points, and here's a dojo master. And just the way I play games, I'd feel compelled to do all that shit. I don't want to feel compelled to do all that shit. Whereas in Nioh, it's like you got 4 big fucking things that you can find that are cool. Oh, you did them? Yeah, here. There's treasure chests all around if you want to get those. There's loot in them, nothing crazy. And you're like, cool, thank you for the information. I will choose to ignore this, but I appreciate you informing me.
There are
It's
some
different.
There are some important things
vibe.
that you can get in there, like the skills and whatnot, the passive skills. You can get
Yeah,
those.
dude,
on
chasing.
chests.
I love chasing down the scampuses now. You find a
Oh.
scampus and you're just like, I'm gonna get you, and it's just like, it's just rolling
Just
away,
like
and you're hunting it
jumping all
down.
over the place. Yeah, the
And then
campus is cool.
the shooty guys, where you just like hear the chime and you're like, where's he at? Where is he at? I'm gonna fucking get him.
Yeah,
Like
the long boys. I call those the long boys. They're freaking ferrets.
the long boys.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they
the ferrets,
stretch out and whatnot, and so
Yeah.
they get pretty crazy. Did you
The
play it?
Kodamas I'm a little worried about, because I think finding all the Kodamas in an open world setting could be
Is gonna
daunting.
be it's gonna be annoying. Absolutely. I don't think I found all the ones in the demo, but then again, I didn't even do.
They seemed like they were pretty obvious though. A lot of the time they were just like, I'm right on top of the hill. I'm right at the start of this town. Like the ones, I don't know.
There was
if I
one
found all
inside
them,
of a
but-
well,
Well, but that one, I mean,
like in the middle of a
that's Nioh
field
101.
somewhere.
You gotta
like-
you gotta smack wells. That's just Nioh.
good luck finding that specific well in the big ass map. But again, Kodama's that's their whole shtick. And I already picked up a couple of pieces that had Kodama radar, so it's just a matter of
Yeah.
how well those work out. But yeah, open world. I don't know. I'm still a little bit conflicted because it all depends on how many chores they put you through. But yeah, we'll see about how that pans out. One of the things that I liked is that, and I didn't even notice this when I was streaming. I noticed that actually this morning, because I went back to the game to kind of like try to remind myself, because I streamed it like 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Whenever it was that you went to the wedding. And one of the things that I noticed that this time when you are upgrading your stats, you can actually see a list of weapons and what weapon gets affected by that. And I was like, oh, that's actually really good. Because when I was playing it, I was like, okay, guys, let me just go pick up one of each weapon so that I know which stat I want.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's actually right there. It tells you the main stat, the secondary stat, all of that is in the upgrade screen. And you can see that they left room for all the other weapons that you're going to put in there. But yeah, I thought that was cool. Cool little quality of life. Did you play it on the standard PS5 or PS5 Pro?
Pro.
Oh, so you own a Pro. Okay. Because let me tell you, the performance on PS5 is really fucking bad. It's really bad.
Pro it was okay, but the visuals were definitely lacking.
Yeah, I mean,
Performance-wise was fine, but
were you playing in
always
performance mode or quality? Well, I guess you can, and on PS5
whatever
Pro, I think
whatever
you
the
have
default
medium one.
whatever the default would have been. 'Cause I didn't fiddle with settings. I just jumped straight in.
I think on the Pro, there's like a third setting, which is like the in between quality and performance. I think I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I played it on performance, and the performance was not good, and the visuals were also not good enough to warrant that level of performance. But again, it's alpha, so it's not fair to judge it at this point. But yeah. Not to mention, I'm going to be playing that on PC. I'm actually happy that it's already on Steam, so I don't think that like the other ones. This one, what?
It is? You sure?
I saw it
Yeah,
on Steam.
Nioh 3?
Yeah. It's already on there. What?
Hold up. I thought it was going to be PlayStation exclusive.
I'm pretty sure.
No, it is. It is. No,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
I'm looking
is,
at
yeah.
it on Steam.
Yeah, so I don't think it's gonna be like last time, unless they put it on Steam and then they're gonna be like, okay, it's releasing now on PS5. We'll see you guys 2 years from now.
Dude, if
But usually
do
it doesn't work
simultaneous
like that.
Steam release,
Yeah, I think it is. I don't think they've
that would be
officially
crazy.
announced it, but it's already
Hang on,
there. But yeah, I think simultaneous release would be pretty friggin' sweet rather than having to
I
wait
agree.
like before. So let's cross our fingers for that one. So I think that one of the things that they definitely need to change, this is like instant feedback. They need to reposition those tutorial windows. The position of the tutorial windows is so obnoxious. Like it covers a huge chunk of the screen right in the place where you're fighting. Like every time a pop-up window would turn up, I'd be like, shit, I can't see anything. This is so bad. So it's like either move them up, move them further down. I don't know, do something. Those tutorial windows, they got to change that shit.
Yeah. I don't remember the tutorials standing out in particular, but I did I don't know. I I I didn't put as much time into it as I usually would. Lately my new rule has been like when it comes to demos, I want to play enough to
To get an idea.
experience everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm just gonna wait. There's too many games I'll like get the demo and then I'll put in like 30 hours and it's just like I don't know. You know, it's just like why am I putting all this time into a demo? I'm gonna lose all this progress. It's just meaningless right now. I need to just wait. There's too many. I think it's because how much stuff is on deck. You know, like when Monster Hunter would drop a demo, it's like, oh well, there's nothing to fucking play, so I guess I'll spend 30 hours just beating up this Chotacabra. But like right now, it's like there are games out the wazoo.
Yep.
So I can't do like 30 hours of a demo right now. But I enjoyed every minute I played of it for sure.
Yeah. The another thing that this is, I feel like this is one of the bigger things. The jump, we can jump now. That wasn't in Nioh 2, right? Pretty sure that wasn't the case.
After Night Rain fixed the jump though, going into Nioh 3, I was like, what is this fucking jump? Get me up the goddamn wall. Why am I not? I want double jump. I want auto. I want to climb up everything.
I want
it can't
mantle.
be a single jump. No.
Yeah, I want a mantle. I want a double jump, triple jump, go, go, go. Did you find
the jump definitely felt a little fucky. I don't know if that's Night Rain bias because they cleaned up the jump a lot there, but
I think
the jump needs to be improved.
I think it's just like you said, their engine just feels dated at this point. The Nioh engine feels very dated. That's one of the things that you instantly notice. Now, I know that, you know, it's not the end all be all if your engine is dated. It's more important to maintain the, you know, cool feeling gameplay because you can have like the best engine in the world, and if your gameplay doesn't feel good, it doesn't matter. So, you know, I still think that it's kind of like one of those situations where if you enjoy Nioh 2, you're gonna love this, like straight up. That there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So one of the things that I thought was interesting is when you go into, so for starters, we should talk a little bit about the ninja samurai stuff. So the main difference is you get different weapons. Ninja's supposed to be your more lightly armored class, more agile, more stealthy, more all of that stuff. And then you have your samurai, which is your big melee dude head to head. But the biggest difference is samurai's got ki pulsing, which lets him purify yokai realms, whereas the ninja has a mist thing, which is basically a fancy dodge. That's basically what you get when you're doing ninja. And other than that, go ahead.
Ninja has repeated dodge. Samurai has deflect. Samurai has Sekiro style deflects now.
Mm-hmm. We didn't used to have that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we've had blocks, which were rarely used because they would chunk your key unless you had like a very specific setup for it. But the whole like Sekiro, like timely guard, I guess would be the appropriate term. That is a new feature.
It's perfect guard like Lies of P, which we'll talk about a little bit later. It's perfect guard. But you do need
that's
to
an important distinction because you can't
you need to put it, you need to put a point into it though to get that. It's not like baseline. You need to put a point.
Yeah, but it's 1 point and it applies to all the weapons.
Yeah. You get that for everything. But so the other thing is that now in order to do ninjutsu, you need to be in ninja stance. So it's not like before where you could do ninjutsu as a samurai. And here's the other thing. You used to be able to swap between two weapons. Now those two weapons is the swapping between ninja and samurai. At least from what we know, we don't think there's going to be two weapons. It doesn't make a lot of sense to be like, oh yeah, two weapons for samurai, two weapons for ninja. You swap between samurai and ninja. You're running around with four weapons. I don't think that's going to be the case. So you're rather than switching between weapons, switching between ninja and samurai. And, you know, samurai, obviously, you're going to need to be that in order to purify yokai realms and getting ki pulses and deflecting and all that. Ninja is more about dodging. And if you want to do ninjutsu, you need to be in ninja stance. But ninjutsu regenerates now, which it didn't used to, as far as I'm aware.
Correct. Damage, build and spend.
Yeah, which I was actually, you know, I found myself using ninjutsu a lot more. I probably used more ninjutsu during this demo than I've used throughout all of my time playing Nioh 1 and 2 because I never used it. I'm just like, listen, give me a big axe and I swing my big axe and things fall down. It's good. I don't need no fancy tricks. But in this one, because of the fact that it would regenerate, I'd be like, hells yeah. Especially on those big leech things that swallow you. Bro, those ate all the ninjutsu. Those things were gnarly.
Did you beat the special Magatsu warriors?
Special Magatsu warriors. Are those the purple? The purple
So
one?
it was like a summon that you could find, and he had a couple different locations, but it's the dude with the crystals on his back that would use like 4 swords. You fight him.
No.
You fight him as like a boss, but there's
I
like
only,
a revenant version of him that's pretty cracked out.
Yeah, I only fought the revenant version. I think.
The boss version, the revenant version is the harder one. I thought.
Yeah, I think I only fought. I didn't find the boss one. I don't think.
No, I'm pretty sure the boss one was just in the cruise. Hang on, what am I thinking of? It's so it's like a grave. Like you go up to the grave and you press it, and it's like, you know, summon fallen or fallen. They don't call him Magatsu warrior anymore. They have a new name now. Let me see.
Yeah, I only found one today, this morning. Like I told you, I was like replaying through the game, and I found one of those, but I don't think I fought any boss versions of that one. It was just like any instigated me. Like there was
but the blood edge demon.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
What they're calling him.
Blood Edge Demon.
Okay.
I fought one of those this morning, and it's like he just insta-gibbed me. Like there was not even a remote chance to do anything.
That was probably the hardest fight in the demo, I think, taking that thing down.
Yeah, but it's funny because the first time that I played it, I didn't find him anywhere. So it just wasn't there. Like I'm pretty sure that I explored the entirety of the map in the 2 sessions that I did, and I didn't find him.
He has a couple different locations, and so you can find him down in the south or more like northwestish, like right near
I think I found him
the town
north.
that has the bridge.
Yeah,
I found him up there, which was obnoxious because before you'd fight him, you'd have to clear out those fucking worm things.
Oh god.
Otherwise, they would interfere.
Yeah, those things.
I had to get good at taking the worms out so that I could have a clear window to fight Mr. Magatsu.
But yeah, I fought that thing, and I was like, nope. This is like I don't feel like fighting him anymore. I fought him once, and I'm like, I'm good. I'll fight you when the actual game comes out, and I have like a proper weapon rather than these little sticks they gave us this time. Like a friggin' what is this? Katana, odachi, and a spear. And I have a manly weapon like a big axe. Give me the big axe. That's what I want. I'm not even messing with the hatchets. I remember the talk you gave me last time. I go, no, hatchets are great. They're so good. And then you played them like once. You fight one boss with them and then you never touch them again. Yeah, of course you didn't play them because they sucked. Because they were terrible, dude. I'm sorry, the hatchets sucked ass. They were so bad. I was literally playing the game in a hard mode. Like, listen, keep laughing. Listen, I played the game up until like one of the bosses, and I was like, bro, I'm so done with this fucking weapon. I go and I grabbed one great axe. I didn't wipe again until like the final bosses of the game. I just like trounced everything because I had been playing the game in Giga hard mode with the hatchets. They are terrible, dude. Like, you are crazy. The hatchets are atrocious.
You can chuck them at enemies from range.
Yeah, you can chuck them from range, but it doesn't matter. You're going to need to do them in melee. So, yeah. But anyways, yeah, I need the great axe to be able to play it proper, and then I'll go in and I'll just, like, clear out the whole thing. I didn't beat the actual final boss either. So, because you go through and you beat the Crucible, and then after
you get
that,
the Crucible version of it.
The extreme version or whatever. And I went all the way to that boss just because I wanted to see what it was. And then, I don't know. I wasn't vibing that much with the spear moveset either. Like, I struggled with the first boss that you faced in the Crucible. There were a bunch of times where I'm like, I hit him. I swear I hit him. Like, I saw the spear go into him and nothing. And there were also...
I mainly did fists and katana or fists and odachi. Both of those were
I think odachi was working because I played a little bit of odachi this morning. I made like a fresh start just to get the mechanics again. And I was like, man, odachi is hitting way better than the goddamn spear was. That's for damn sure. Like, especially because in that boss, he's got like the horn thing. And it's like, in order to get to the horn with the spear, you're like, oh, Got to go into high stance and then hit him with square, and then pray that that tiny ass hitbox that the friggin' spear is gonna do. Pray that you
Odachi
land that.
just
Yeah,
boom.
the Odachi just
Smacks.
like smack him and it's done. And yeah, with the spear,
Smack him in
was,
power, go into. Well, I like the moonlight thing with Odachi, where you're just like boom, 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 boom. You do like the double hit.
yeah,
It's like empowered. It's like it's a very like hyper armory. Like I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna hit you in the face with this, and it's
yeah.
gonna happen.
That feels good because the one with the spear, you start spinning the spear, you're spinning the spear, and then interrupted,
And then
you're
you get
like,
hit in the face.
oh.
Yeah.
And then you're spinning the spear and spinning the spear and nothing. It's like, I'm cooking. Oh, never mind. It's still
the
raw.
Sword I was liking, and I did focus like an EI type focus for like the quick draw. And it's still good, but part of it is coming off of Nioh 2, where your EI is like very quick. Like there was, I don't know if you did, I don't think you did katana or dual sword, but you could like hit the button to go into EI stance, flick your stick just gently, and then hit it again. And what your character would do would be like from here, they'd go ching boom, and so you'd basically animation cancel the sheath to make it like super fucking quick. And there was an upgrade that you had to get to increase the draw speed of it. But so you would animation cancel, and like part of like, I mean, you could fighting humanoids with either sword or dual swords. You could like, as soon as they were stunned, you could like do an EI into a final blow, and then quick queue up another EI into a final blow, and you could basically like juggle an enemy like that if you could hit the inputs successfully, which was a lot of fun and very satisfying. And we didn't have the quick EI slash, so like it was still good. It was just like ning ning boom, and I'm like, feels so slow compared to what I'm used to.
You wanted the faster one. Yeah.
I want the fast EI, yeah. Which I'm sure it's a skill for later. There was, I mean, you could tell they gave us bare bones skill tree. There was a lot of stuff that just was not in yet.
Oh yeah, like one of the things that I was looking for. I'm like, hey, where's key pulse on dodge? I need key pulse on dodge. Can I has key pulse on dodge? It's like I need that so bad. I felt like there were times with that boss that the first one you fight in the Crucible, the hitbox for his grab was very, very generous at times. I'm like, I don't know about that one, sir. Like, I'm pretty sure that okay, I'll accept it, but yeah.
I'd say the hardest thing for me was the change to the skill burst.
Because it swaps you into ninja.
Well, not just that,
It's
because
not,
you could
it's
do
not
ninja.
a yokai parry anymore, basically. It used to be yokai parry.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
yeah.
what I liked is previously you would just always do it, and it was, depending on your yokai, that was your timing, and so it was very easy to get in that rhythm. And now it was either the stance swap or it was your ability. Like, so in my my samurai stance, I had like the wind blade thing. I could do that, and if I was a ninja, I had like a backflip lightning kick I would do. And like the backflip lightning kick, I think the animation is only during the kick portion of it. So I'd miss that one a lot. Whereas the wind blade felt like the entirety of the wind blade slicing would count for the purpose of the parry. So hitting the stance swap was easy enough to do it with. Hitting the wind blades was easy. Hitting the lightning kick was not. But so definitely a little bit of a just like mental discrepancy going from like, this is your parry to like, you could do this to parry or this to parry or this to parry, and them all having like slightly different timings. That just, it fucked with me a bit. But I think that's one of those things where it's just time, like time and practice. I'd probably get it down and just, either I'd always go for samurai or always go for stance swap and just avoid my lightning kick altogether.
Yeah, it's one of those things I always say that when it comes to Nioh, I need to like format my brain for Nioh, which is like when I'm playing Nioh, I can't be playing anything else because otherwise it's going to destroy the muscle memory completely. But yeah, what'd you think about ninjutsu regenerating?
I thought it was great.
Yeah, you get to use it more often at least, and I kind of wish that Omnio regenerated as well, but
So the way I played ninjutsu too, I did a big focus on the elemental ninjutsu. So what I would do is with the fists, I had one of my attacks would like basically apply water, almost guaranteed, if I did it with fists. So I would put on fire, wind, and shock, and then so I'd hop into ninjutsu and just be like shock ball, shock ball, shock ball, shock ball, fireball, 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 fireball. Discord will pop up, and then I would just jump into ninja form, maybe like bah, 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 and do all my combos and switch to samurai and hit my like big moonlight, and then hop back in and be like win, 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 lightning, 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 lightning. Discord pops back up, and so that was a really satisfying loop for me. I didn't bother trying it with like, going ninjutsu and just straight like pumping kunai or bombs, which I think might also be viable, but I've always loved the Discord system in Nioh, where you get two separate elements and then it puts them into that confusion state where you can just like blister through their key super fast, just so I built the ninja around that. I'll probably try doing a more damage oriented ninja. I know in Ninja 2 or Nioh 2 that was cracked, where like your kunai would just kill enemies and like 8 would kill the boss. I have a feeling that's probably not going to be as potent. I think they might,
especially with
it
regenerating. They're probably going to
regen.
Run it
Yeah,
in. I was playing around with the Fuma Shuriken, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. If you hit it at the right distance, because it stays there a little bit, spinning, and then it comes back.
On them.
Yeah, but you have to hit it at the right distance, because if you overshoot it or whatever, then it's not going to work. But I thought that the Fuma Shuriken was pretty good too. But yeah, I definitely used more. So
I'll probably do a combo like the Fuma Shuriken and then run like water and shock or something for like the defense down as well as the mini sloth, and then just outside of that have like a skill for applying wind and a skill for applying fire, because that's one of my big things with Nioh is I really like playing with the elements in the game.
Yeah, that's the thing that I was going to bring up, the Omnio. So you said you didn't like the Soul Core system, the Onmyo box or whatever, because the way that it works now, you're expected to like hunt down certain yokai, and then somehow you get their souls or whatever, and then you can put them into 2 different boxes. One of them gives you like passive effects or whatever, and the other one gives you spells.
So one box functions them how Soul Coals worked in Nioh 2, where it summons it up, and then the other effectively turns them into an item. So I had I think it was a Scampus, and the Scampus would give me protection amulets. So I put him in the slot that generates items, and then I just had free protection amulets, which was like, that's kind of cool. I like that part. Instead of having to go through a whole Omyo tree, like, oh, this guy gives me protection, or this guy gives me sprint, or whatever. I'll just slot them in. But the yokai box, the summoning portion, a good example is if I wanted to do Ippon before, I hit the button, literally like a snap of the fingers, boom, boom, Ippon comes out and smacks. Now, your character's going to hold out their little box. He's going to jump out of it, whoop, boom. And so it's that delay of like holding the box, summon the yokai. Yeah, it interrupts the flow of the combat, which is something I really liked. And I think, so instead, I would probably just go for like Kasha in Nioh 2, where you would just like summon her and let her rip. I would probably end up doing that with my yokais. I'd find yokai that you summon them and they just do a big gaudy animation and stay out for a little bit and then just ignore it. Whereas it was really nice being able to work yokai in mid combo, and I think that's going to be a lot more difficult because now maybe there's passives. Maybe we get something at launch where it's like makes the yokai box instantaneous. That would allow it to work back into the combat, but right now the summon delay on the yokai made him a lot more situational, I felt.
Or maybe they'll change it based on player feedback, because that's
maybe that too. Yeah, they are big on player feedback.
Yeah, I hope that's the case. But basically, you're super happy about it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I didn't think it was going to happen, bro. I had already gaslit myself into believing.
Because Rise of Ronin.
Well, yeah. Well, so I recently redid Nioh 2, and everyone's like, can't wait for Nioh 3. And I'm like, I don't think it's happening, bro. They said it wasn't going to happen. And then the like final nail in my coffin was when they put out the sales numbers for Rise of the Ronin, and Rise of the Ronin sold more than Nioh 1 and Nioh 2 put together. And I was like, fuck, they ain't doing a Nioh 3. And it's over.
And it was an exclusive. Well, all of those were exclusive, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So I was just like, to me, I was like,
how does
yeah,
Rise of the Ronin sell more than Nioh?
Because it appeals to a more casual audience, which is what I said in my review. But then the Team Ninja purists were like, you just don't fucking understand it. This game has so much fucking depth. I let it fuck my ass 6 ways to Sunday and had 12 orgasms. You just make OP builds. I fucking, dude, Rise of the Ronin fandom, suck my dick, bitch. Fuck on, hate all you nerds.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, bro, even to today, I still get fucking Ronin simps that are pissed that in my review, I was like, this wasn't what I was looking for. It's not really for me. I'm not going to give this game a score, but I think if you're looking for a more casual open world experience, if you like Assassin's Creed games, this will be up your alley. Like, I didn't even, if I could go back, I'd go back in time and be like, this game sucks. If you like it, you probably smell like unwashed underwear. Fucking bitches. You try to be nice. You try to be nice to some people, Rory. You try to be nice and be like, hey, this isn't for me. If you enjoy it, that's good. It's not for me. I don't want to play it. And they're like, you just don't fucking understand it. Like, no, you just need to get the fuck out of your parents' basement. You're 26. Why are you still living there? Fucking hate those people. They're a bunch of inbred fucks.
Jesus.
Video game simps are the worst demographic.
Oh my God, dude. Tell us how you really feel.
Bro, dude, these people, like also with the re-release on PC, it spawned a whole new surge of them. Like,
that love Rise of Ronin?
Yeah, which, like, good for you. But don't come to me and be like, you just don't get it. No, bitch, I don't like it. I played the game 3 times. I don't like it.
I was surprised, like, when we spoke during the review period, and I was like, I know Cowboy's going to be all over this. And you're like, actually, oh, man, I don't like it very much. I was like, damn!
Yeah, I don't like it.
Because I was coming in with the same, like, man, I don't know. It's not really for me. I don't know. I'm not feeling this one. And you're just like, I fucking hate it. I was like, okay. I
did not enjoy it. The amount of people that were like, oh, you just didn't learn it. Oh, you just, like, I started getting just, like, mean to people. People are like, you just didn't give it enough time. You just think you don't like it. And I'm like, you know what? Why don't you come suck my dick? But I need you to suck it 3 or 4 times to make sure you don't like it first. All right. After you've sucked me off 4 times and swallowed the load each fucking time, then you're allowed to tell me, I don't think this is for me. Does that sound fucking fair?
Bro,
no? Get the fuck out of my comments.
Listen,
I can't stand them, Rui.
YouTube has been cracking down.
First the Pokemon people, now the fucking Rise of the Ronin people.
YouTube's been just trying to vibe and drink my
fucking
sexual innuendo, dude.
YouTube doesn't care.
No, listen, dude. My Nioh 3 demo stream. You saw that?
I saw.
Because I said I'm gonna stab him in the cheeks. That was enough.
No, that's you got somebody at YouTube Portugal that just fucking has it out for you. I think
I probably
they're just watching. They're like, he's looking at that man's cheeks, sexualized content, innuendos. Get fucked, Rurikhan. I don't know what a Portuguese accent sounds like, so that
sounds more like an Indian accent, but okay.
I was trying to poke in the cheeks at a fucking Rurikhan. I don't know. They don't like
Keep trying.
I don't know.
We're going through the entirety of Europe. Yeah, so anyway, you know what? I just wanted to say one good thing about Rise of Ronin. I like the rifle weapon. The rifle weapon's badass. It's cool. Okay, that's it. That's all I want to say. It's
good. Cool. Listen, if I'll say it again. Anybody that likes Rise of the Ronin, if you like it, good for you. I'm happy you enjoyed your time with it.
Wait until
I did not.
They're gonna come for you now, and they're gonna be like, "Look at this fucking slop, bro! It's the 3rd game, bro. Yeah. Our Rise of Ronin was so much better."
That's the thing. There's like my stance on games is simple. You can like what you want, but don't. It's don't like a fucking door-to-door religious preacher. Yeah. Listen, if you're a Jehovah's Witness and you want to believe all that, that's fine, bro. Whatever fucking tickles your pickle. If it makes you happy, that's good. But if you come to my house and you're like, have you accepted the word? I'm going to be like, get the fuck out. I'm busy summoning Satan in my backyard. Fuck off. I'm going to say something specifically inflammatory to get you to fuck off because you couldn't read the sign that says no soliciting. Like what you want to like. Just leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Simple concept.
But anyway, Nioh 3, Likely going to be good. If you guys have a PS5, actually no. By the time this video goes live, you can't play the demo anymore. I'm pretty sure.
I hope it's simultaneous PC release. That would be so good.
I think it'll be. I think it'll be because like it wouldn't make sense for it to already be on Steam because
just on the Steam store for 2 years.
Yeah, like Sony would want people to think that like it might not come. You never know. Gotta buy it on our console. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe they'll do the Xbox thing. And PlayStation 5 will have like 3 days of early access or something ridiculous like that.
That's fine. That's fine. Give me PC with maxed out visuals and everything else.
I'll wait the 3 days.
Yeah, I don't care. I would absolutely do it on PC at launch over. Because at both Nioh and Nioh 2, I played through the whole thing on PlayStation, and then I did it a year later when it came out on PC. So
and it was way better on PC.
Since it's already on Steam, it's so much smoother. I'm not choosing between frames or graphics. The 4K textures help Nioh a lot. Like looking at
I friggin' bet.
Yeah. Like just looking at Nioh 2 PS5 footage versus Nioh 2 PC footage, and there's like a definitive difference in like quality of textures, clarity of textures, color vibrancy. Everything looks just better.
Yeah. I hope they deliver. We'll see, and I hope that it doesn't come out on top of other launches that I want to check out because I want to.
I mean, it would. That's a top priority game for me. Nioh 3 comes out. The only thing that could potentially split my time would be like another Monster Hunter or expansion or a FromSoft game. Yeah, that's it.
That's pretty much. That's pretty much where I'm at. But we'll see. But for now, the demo was fun. If you guys like Nioh 2, you're going to love Nioh 3. If you didn't like Nioh 2, you're probably also not going to like Nioh 3. That would be my take on that. But we'll see. So we got to talk about a game that I have a love-hate relationship with.
As I've heard.
A game that when I was fighting the final boss, not the final boss, the boss before the final boss, for the first time, you actually came in a call to give me a pep talk. Because this is some bullshit. This is some fucking bullshit. I fucking hate this game. But the funny thing is, after I finished playing it, I kept playing it, and I platinumed the damn thing, and the combat still hadn't fully clicked with me. And now I played the DLC. And after playing the DLC, I took some time to think about, like, what is it about this game that annoys the crap out of me? And it is how relentless the bosses are. They're more relentless than in most other Souls-likes because they don't give you any time to breathe most of the time. It's like your time to breathe is die.
Do you use the puppet string?
No, I know that the puppet string is really powerful. I used it when I was platinuming the game, but I didn't use it this time around.
Is the GOAT for a reason.
Yeah, I know.
Because
you just use it and you're invincible while you're in the air. I know.
Well, no, you're not. You can get knocked out of the air, but anything that's a humanoid boss. Most of them
don't have animations to knock you out of the air.
A lot of them DLC do.
Okay.
America does.
Wait, no. Don't say boss names. We're doing.
It's fucking names.
No.
Who's gonna know what the fuck?
No.
Yeah, Lumanacino Cappuccino. People thinking it's a fucking Starbucks drink. They're not gonna know it's a boss.
Matter. Listen, I don't want to spoil literally anything about bosses. We are going to spoil it, but there'll be a warning. This is why I put Lies of P as the last.
But Luma Americana Cappuccino was a really hard boss. No one knows what that means, Rory.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't want
Santa Claus over here.
No, listen. I want people to enjoy the story at their own pace, and I don't want to spoil it because, like, I think that the story of Lies of P is actually really, really good, and I think that what do you
consider
to
be the safety window for spoilers?
Safety window for. I mean, we're not going to get into boss specifics.
I mean, like in general, like when something releases. What is the day where you're like, fuck it, it's been out long enough.
Like 2 months.
If you get spoiled, it's your own damn fault. 2 months? Damn.
Yeah.
That's
I'm very generous.
You are, yeah.
I was
gonna say 2 weeks.
No, I like, because, people have different times to play. Like you and me, we play this shit for a living, so we can spend more time playing it. People don't have the time to put in like a 6-hour session like I do on my streams. Like you don't just, let me just play this game for 6 hours straight. If you got a 9 to 5, you don't do that. So
I just think it's funny because you get people. I had someone in Discord the other day. Final Fantasy VII was a point of discussion, and someone mentioned Aerith dying, and they're like, "Whoa, whoa,
okay,
whoa,
final. Like, listen,
yet.
I've never finished Final Fantasy
It's a 20-year-old
VII
game, bro.
but it's like, listen, that one's past. Okay, look, you can't.
I know it's remastered, but
you can't put that.
You could have experienced it in the last 20 years. Like that ship fucking sailed.
Yeah,
my guy.
that ship sailed on Final Fantasy VII. The ship has sailed, bro. It's like if you're anywhere consuming any type of Final Fantasy VII media, like, listen, that ship has sailed, brother. You should not be consuming any of that.
Vader's Luke's father. I haven't seen the original trilogy yet. Like, well,
probably should have done it like 30 years ago. I don't know.
Somewhere for a while.
But yeah. So the I go into the DLC, like I said, love-hate thing, but from a visual standpoint, from an art direction standpoint, animations, audio, this is all top-notch on the base game and on the DLC. I love everything about it. I think that the story editions are also really good. They fill in some blanks. They show characters that you've heard about in the base game, and you get to know more about those characters.
I thought the audio logs got pretty emotional.
Oh, yeah. The audio logs were
like
very good.
The final one, when you're like back in modern day and you're just listening to it, you're just like, damn, why it gotta be like that?
Yeah. It's like depression simulator, bro. Get depressed. It's like you want to chill out and like really feel even worse about your life than you did before. We got a story for you. Don't worry about that. No, but it's a good story. So how did you feel about them adding difficulty levels?
I think it's fine. More options for the player. I will say the boss refight difficulty is a fucking lie.
I don't know what.
After I finished, so there's the boss rematch feature, right?
Yeah.
And after I finished, I got like the final weapon, and I was like, I want to try this out. And I went into the boss rematch, and I was getting like 2-shot, and I'm like, this is supposed to be, legendary stalker difficulty. And I checked my difficulty, and it's already on legendary stalker, and I'm like, something ain't fucking math in here. So I think the boss refight difficulties are like toned to New Game Plus or something. Because like I was looking, like I literally went back to watch footage of the damage I took from a combo on one of the bosses, and then took that same combo during the boss refight, and it was like almost double. I was like, yeah, this ain't fucking tracking here.
Yeah, there's.
Legendary Stalker is just your default difficulty, so I just played on that, and then I went to go do the boss refight to try out the new weapon I got, and bosses were just trouncing with damage.
It's something that I feel this studio in particular struggles with a lot, is the difficulty, because even on the base game, if you remember, like we played through the game, and then I think it was 2 weeks or something like that after I finished the game, they just nerfed the crap out of a lot of the bosses that I had issues with, and I was like, oh, it's not like I was saying these needed to be nerfed. That's weird, because like I don't think they should nerf it, but they've already said for this DLC as well that like, oh, there's we've heard your feedback on and this was like very close to them releasing the game. We've heard your feedback, and we're going to take a look at the difficulty because there are certain things that are too hard. And I was just like, what? You guys literally just released the game. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're looking into it? It's supposed to be done. It's weird. They struggle with difficulty a lot. And I don't think that adding additional difficulties is necessarily a good thing, because when you add that, you can just give the excuse, well, if it's too hard for you, just play the easier difficulty, boom, done.
It's true.
I kind of feel like if you have one difficulty, you put in a better effort at balancing it properly. I'm not saying that it's not balanced. I mean, I finished the game. It's perfectly doable. If somebody like me can do it, anybody can do it, because, I took a pounding on pretty much every single boss in this DLC. I was stuck in most of them for, well, actually not.
I think
there were some.
What
Go ahead.
I think each game should have the standard, whatever considers standard, right? So, like, I think taking Souls as an example, make that the standard difficulty. And if we wanted to add a hard mode or an approachable mode, I like the idea of, because I think a big thing with games like that is some people, they're just terrible at combat, but they want to experience it, which I get. And so I think you could just make a, just call it like story mode. And enemies deal half damage, you deal double damage, just whatever. It's for people that are, I want to experience the story, I'm not worried about the combat. And then you have a like challenge mode where it's like you have a third less stats and enemies are faster and more aggressive. But I like for higher difficulties, I don't like percentage-based scaling. Like, you take 50% more and enemies take 50% less. When games have higher levels of difficulty, I prefer it to be, new mechanics, new phases, things that make me want to overcome that challenge, not just sponge.
Yeah.
But for an easier difficulty, reverse sponging, I'm fine with that. If somebody wants to they want to experience the story of Lies of P, which is a good story, and they struggle in bosses, fucking cut the boss's health by half and double their stats. I don't give a shit. Just let them fucking play it. It doesn't bother me that they experience it differently than I did.
I don't care if people experience it differently. My main concern is that like 90% of video games that have multiple difficulties, usually the more challenging difficulties suck. That's always been for me, that's always been my experience. And that's the reason why I like, I get into a From Software game and I'm like, there's one difficulty and it feels just right. It's perfect. Yeah. So that's the mentality that I always bring to it. It's like, it seems like all the developers that end up putting their efforts, I'm going to put this thing and this slider here and this slider there and all of these different difficulty things. And then it's like, okay, now all the difficulties are worse. Whereas if you had just like
that's
one
what I'm saying. You could just have, or even just two difficulties. Have your intended, and then have your story mode, which just reverse sponge so that you don't die. So that the people, my kid wants to play fucking Dark Souls. Here, we're gonna put on, like, a good example is, so like I have him playing, he's been playing Monster Hunter Stories, and he plays it with me because he gets lost pretty easily. Still, he's only 4, but when he's playing, I'll run a trainer in the background for him, so that like he has infinite feints and shit. Because like especially at a kid that's that age, if his fucking monster faints, he's just gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be sad. Fuck it, just keep the monsters alive. Let them just do it. And I think having kids has been one of the big things that's changed me on that. Because like I can go in, I'll fucking like, oh, you idiots, rock paper scissors, I'll fuck this game up. Or for like someone that's still grasping video games, not just a child, but like if my mom was gonna try and play one of these games, she might be like, what the fuck's going on? Monsters and clashes kinship cages. What is all this shit? Just have a casual mode. Make it for the people.
Nah, I made my kid play Wayfinder. I think is one of the first games that he was playing. And yeah, I made him play on like a harder difficulty. Yeah, he died a bunch of times.
Yeah, but your kid's like fucking 9.
He's 10 now.
Or 11 or 15.
Yeah. Yeah, he got his face smashed. Yeah. My daughter too. Yeah. My daughter's 6. Yeah, well, she got her face beat get your too. Fucking...
Well, see now, I would not smash the daughter. The daughter gets an infinite amount of love. The son, I'm like, get the fuck up, boy. Yeah, it's a very real thing.
She got slapped around just as much as my son got slapped around. They need to learn.
Oh no, yeah. No, he falls down. He falls down and scrapes his knee. I'm like, get up, spit on it, you'll be fine. She falls down and scrapes her knee. I'm like, oh God, sweet baby, come here, sweet baby.
Nope.
Daddy will never let anything happen to you.
Nope. Both of them got beat up in the same video game. It is what it is. They had to play it on the harder difficulty, and they learned.
Now, I will say my nephews, I beat the shit out of them in Smash. I had both nephews and the niece, and I was like, all right, listen, if y'all can beat me, I'll give you my PS4 and all the games for it. And they were all hyped up. I beat the fucking shit out of them. I beat the shit out of them.
Dude, that's even worse. You're like, you want this carrot? You want this carrot? Yeah, you do. It's like fucking, you want it, huh? Yeah, you do. Like you're holding an incentive in front of them and then just like crushing their hopes and dreams, dude. You're a fucking monster.
I'll tell you what, they got better at Smash. And then like, 6 months later, we played, and they managed to pull it off. They had the youngest. She just like sat spamming projectiles the whole time while one of them was going counters and the other one was doing combos. I was like, this is good. He's involved. But they were like 16, 14, and like 9. So I was like, all right, this is it's a good incentive at that age. My kids are fucking 2 and 4. I'm not going to be like, all right, beat that and smash you. Don't get dinner. Like, they need time to pick up and grasp control mechanics and whatnot.
But yeah, on the difficulty thing, that's still where I'm at. I would rather focus on one because then you'll get that one right rather than because and the proof is in the pudding, right? They've added all these difficulty modes. One of the first things that they do when they talk about their director's letter is like, oh, we need to go and tune the difficulty. And it's like, well, why were you wasting time doing these other difficulties if you didn't tune the main one appropriately? That's the thing. And again, I'm not saying they need to nerf anything. I don't want anything nerfed because I feel like for people that like challenging games, you get like 2 or 3 games a year. Like really challenging games, really hard stuff. So the last thing I want to do is be like, yeah, this needs nerf. It need nerf this boss. Like, hey, if I struggle with it, skill issue. It is what it is. Skill issue. I struggled with a lot of them, but yeah. How did you feel overall about the DLC? You're going on your second really playthrough right now.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought the bosses I thought were all pretty good. Some certainly better than others. The story expansions that we got were like really cool, and I'm really happy with what they did because I thought the end of the base game there was like that little ruby slipper thing, and I was like, oh, are they gonna do like Wizard of Oz DLC or something, or is that the next game? And I'm glad that instead the DLC was focused more on
this
world building in the Lies of P.
And then the next one is gonna be Dorothy or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think if there's one thing that I think I would have changed, I would have liked more weapons. I don't think there were enough weapons. And there's one weapon in particular, which I'm sure you'll agree, feels like we were robbed.
Yes. Absolutely. That's literally on my video. That's like that at the end of my video. I'm like, you guys did me fucking dirty. You did me so dirty, bro. Like, because when I was fighting that boss, I was like, it's all good. When it's over, oh man, that reward's gonna be so good. And then it was over, and I was like,
it's just sitting there, and you go to interact, and you're like, why isn't there there's no interaction element here? Can't I?
Just pick it up. Just pick it up. It's right there. Yeah. It's right there, bro. Just pick it up. Grab that thing and take it. And it's being wielded by a humanoid boss too, so it's even worse.
It has a full fucking moveset.
It's just like insult to injury, bro. That was so dirty. Everybody was laughing.
Because they did it in the base game too. I remember Laxasia. I was like, I want that fucking sword. Yeah. And I beat her, and they're like, here's some weird wheel thingies. I'm like, I don't want these. Where's the sword at? And then they fucking did it again.
Yep.
They
did.
Got you again, bitch. You thought you was gonna get that, not fucking today or not. I was like,
but yeah, my biggest criticism for this is that the love-hate thing continues. Where, for me, and again, this is for me. I'm not saying that this is a criticism to the game. It's a criticism from my perspective. The balance between what feels rewarding and what is just a relief, it still stays more towards the relief side of things, as in I kill a boss and I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God that's done. Not doing that again. It's like, But it's funny because I finished the game and all I've been thinking in the last couple of days is like, man, I should replay the entirety of Lies of P. It's like I'm a glutton for punishment. It's like I just finished it. I got my face beat up real bad. And then I'm like, you know what? I should do that again. I feel like I should do that again. I feel like that's a good idea. But I want to jump into some spoiler discussion for Lies of P, guys. So if you still haven't played the DLC for Lies of P Overture, then you might want to hop off the podcast at this point. but we're gonna get into some specifics with the bosses and some of the issues that I personally have with some of the bosses, and we're gonna get into proper discussions at this point. So, 3, 2, 1. That's your warning. Bro, that fucking crocodile can go eat shit, okay?
Crocodile was so easy. You're
That
fucking bad.
crocodile
I beat his ass
is-
with dex. I beat his ass with strength. This is a skill issue.
That
Rudy.
crocodile is garbage. Like the way it's also because I was super rusty. It's the first like real boss that you're facing. But like, bro, the way that I'm like, okay, let's go fight him. I need to practice these parries. And you're just like,
What weapon were you using?
you can't see shit. You can't see shit. Just like the whole fucking time, bro. I'm like, bro, I can't even see my character. I'm like up against the fucking wall. Like, what the fuck?
Just sidestep him. I think I first attempted him on the strength build.
Nah,
You
bro.
just sidestep him and beat
I was
his ass.
I was
You just
trying to
on the
side. That's another thing. Like his grab is the most inconsistent command grab I've seen in my life. Like sometimes I'd start running and I'd be over here and he'd nom here and didn't pick me up. Sometimes I'd be over here and he'd still pick me up. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? What is happening? How is this even making any logic? I'm further away than before. Why is your grabbing me now? So I don't know, dude. That thing was just annoying, and the camera work on that was atrocious. So I hated that. Did you first try him? You said?
Yeah. On strength.
God damn.
I think Dex took like 4 attempts, but I was also weapon testing at that point still.
Were you
I was
using
trying out one spear and trying out another spear?
Were you using puppet string?
I think I did. Yeah, I want to say yes.
Yeah.
I was using puppet string and final boss weapon. That was just bonk.
Final.
Bonk,
Well,
bonk.
what's the final? Is that the big stick?
Big fucking hammer. Yeah, big stick.
Okay. Cause like I was trying out all of the well, no, for that one I didn't. For that one I was using, I think I was using the old baton handle with the saw cleaver thing.
I'm gonna find him real fast. I'm gonna tell you how long it took me to smash his ass. Let's see.
But the thing was also I wanted to try out the shotgun, which I like the shotgun a lot. The shotgun's a ton of fun.
Shotgun is good. I like the shotgun as well.
But it's not like
That's that fucker.
compared to say the puppet string or the shield, it's not as powerful as those two. Those two are just
Yeah,
on a
puppet
league of
string
their
is just crazy.
yeah. But
I found it. I found the fight. Let's see. So
here we go.
do you want me to screen share it, or am I just starting the timer?
No. Just tell me the time. It's
Let's
all,
see. 50, 54, 36. Okay, he pops out at 54, 54, 40. To make things easy. Let's see. I did my big attack for 3,200 damage. Went on the side of him. He smacked me. Bonked him again for another 1,000 damage. He's now on fire and angry. Queuing up heavy attacks. He's now halfway dead.
Damn. Feels bad.
Dodged him, got on his back. Oh no, I was using the shotgun. I shotgunned him. Let's see. He's running. I'm doing another big bonk. Okay, he's trying to bite me. I'm taking some damage. Another baseball bonk smack. And oh, he gets me with the tail. I'm gonna heal up. There you go. He's gonna try and eat me here. Oh, he eats me because I missed the block.
There's no blocking. It's a grab.
Yeah.
He can't block that.
Oh, I go on his side. Another charged heavy for a quick 1,400 damage.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck? You had a fucking cracked build. Because like I was playing with my build for my very first playthrough, so it was not optimized at all.
I got all 3 of my things up. Another big thing that's 3,300 damage. Shotgun to stun him. Going for the critical. Free charged heavy off. Then go for the fatal attack. Another shotgun charge, and then one more shotgun charge, and he's dead. 56-13.
Okay, so it took you
About
like 2 minutes. Less than 2
minute and a
minutes.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Just walk in, just bonk.
but yeah, so for the next boss, I used the new weapon. I like that weapon a lot. It was the charge spear thing. Did you use that? The rocket propelled spear?
I thought it felt too slow. I tried using it, and I think part of it.
All of the
so I was using
spears are kind of slow.
Well, so, no, you want to know the secret for a technique spear? You do the Tyrant Murderer's Dagger, and you put it on the City Long Spear,
I mean,
and it's
yeah,
just
but
like boom,
that's a
boom,
dagger, yeah.
boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that's good. So I kept going back and forth between that and then Trident of the Covenant, good old tried and true.
Yeah,
Which it's very similar to Trident of the Covenant, but it has faster attack. And the buffs on it, it doesn't have a Fable art like damage-wise. You have one that increases crit rate, and you have one that increases damage. So you just put up both of those, and then you put on your fixed-up grindstone, and then you're just like boom, 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 boom. Just repeated thrusts, and whatever you're fighting, it's just like, I'm dying.
Yeah.
Works very well.
I use the rocket spear because I'm like I want to use the new weapons rather than play with because that was what I used for platinuming was the
I use the bow a little
trident.
bit. I like that. The bow, and then I like the claws too. I was using the claws.
The claws look like fun. I only tried them out at the end of the game because they were technique, and I was like, wait, were they technique? I think they were technique, right?
Yeah, they were like A scaling or S technique. I think S actually, but
yeah. But so
they're pretty breakable. They're not good at blocking at all.
Yeah. The rocket spear was hilarious because I don't know if you know, but if you do running R2, the character
you can keep charging up until
he just keeps going. Yeah. So I was like, this is hilarious. I love that weapon. And you could fire missiles with it too, which was fun. But what I ended up doing for a while is I grabbed the pistol drill blade because that comes with crit, and I put that onto the spear, and I would use that to kind of like as my main weapon for a good long while because I knew that what I wanted was the gun blade. I'm just like, no, I want the gun blade. I need the gun blade. But it drops so late. That's another one of my complaints. Why does it drop so fucking late, bro? You put it in the trailer, you know that's what I want to play is the gun blade.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I mean the Omni Slash sword is fucking final boss weapon.
Yeah, but I don't like it. It's not as cool as it's just OP. That weapon's just busted. It's just cracked. So whatever. But so second boss, what'd you think about that one?
That one was interesting. I think that first real boss. I like that one. You have some strategy adjustment going on because like for Dex, I just focused her down and I ignored the puppet completely, and that worked out.
Yeah.
But strength, I didn't have the speed. So what I did is I got her to like 50% or so, and then I smashed the puppet. And then I didn't realize that she won't enter phase 2 while the puppet's dead. So then I just focus fired her, and I got her down to about 5 to 10%. And then she got the puppet rezzed and went into phase 2. But then I was able to just clean it up with puppet string and one big smash for GG.
So the thing that bothered me about that one is if the puppet's behind you, I couldn't swap targets. People told me they can do this. People told me, no, it works fine for me. I'm like, really? I can't. I like, because, swapping targets, you flick the right stick. It's like, it's not swapping targets. So I basically got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm just going to take the hit. Like every time I know the puppet's coming from behind, I'm just going to eat that, heal through it, and kill her. And yeah, eventually I just got her. So I don't think I spent as much time there as I did in the crocodile. But
I thought it was a cool fight, though. I like the idea of it.
Yeah, the fight itself is cool. It's just like I said, I don't like the fact that you can't swap targets if she's not on screen because I know it's coming. I know I can block it if you just let me swap targets, but you don't let me swap targets, so I'll just eat the hit, or maybe you can remove the lock on, then try to turn around. It's finicky as hell. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
What was the next boss after that one? Is it Veronique? I forget.
The hammer. Yeah.
It's
hammer.
Veronique. Bro.
Good fight. I can't believe they fucked us out of another weapon, bro.
They fucked us out of the hammer. I was I was looking forward. I was able to do that one just fine, but
yeah, I didn't think that as long as you were able to get your blocks down, that one, that's the fight where I finally clicked back into like Lies of P mode, like getting the perfect blocks. Because up until there, I was still night raining. I was still like very, very dodgy focused.
Yeah,
and I was like, I need to fucking block, man. I really need to block here.
On that fight, I actually broke the hammer. I broke her hammer before she went into like phase 2 or whatever, and I was like, oh damn, okay. So I parried a bunch on that one, but yeah, it was super disappointing that we didn't get the big boom hammer. I mean, we have one. We have like an explosive pickaxe or whatever the hell it was, but it's not like that. Yeah, it's not the same.
It's not the same. Yeah.
That one
shit's like fucking. It reminded me of the Monster Hunter, the Rocket Greatsword.
Yeah.
wanted it. I was just like, this looks good. I want to smash with this.
It does. So then the other one would be the, what's it called? The Warden.
Overseer.
Dude, there was that big muscle guy that you have to kill along the way before you get to Veronique. Dude, that guy was annoying as shit.
Well,
it took me forever to kill that guy.
I had bow, so I just kept. I would like pop shot him and then I'd run backwards, and then I'd pop shot him and then I'd run backwards. I mean, he would get to the pathing point where he'd turn around, and then I would charge shot him in the back, and he'd come for me, and I'd run a little bit, and I'd charge shot him in the back. I abused the fuck out of his AI.
So dirty. No, I fought him straight up. But so after that was the two-faced Warden. The Warden didn't take me too long because I summoned Alidoro.
Did you fight him solo? Yeah, or Alidoro? Yeah, I did Alidoro too.
Yeah, I summoned Alidoro because I didn't know whether or not you have to do it for the thing, but I'm like, I want to do it. Imagine missing on like a fucking, what was his name?
Quest item progression or something.
No. The character in Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree. Bail, cuss you. Imagine missing another moment like that, yeah. Dude. Fucking, yeah. I'm not. No.
Yeah. Anytime there's like an NPC that's like,
yeah,
I need to be part of this. Summon me. I'm like, yep, that's quest. Sure. Quest progression takes priority.
So, with me and him, it didn't take too long to bring down the Warden.
Same.
Yeah.
Much harder fight solo for sure.
Is Grab though? Is vicious, like dragging you through the fucking grade?
I don't know if that one hit me.
Oh yeah, he got me with that one.
Because he was focused Alidoro, and I had my super spear set up, like I said, so I just fucking just tore him up full of crit damage in the back. Bro just didn't get a chance to fight back.
So from there you go down, and there's an optional boss. Did you do the optional boss?
I went back and I got the optional boss. Yes, pretty easy fight, I thought.
Yeah.
It was 2 attempts for me.
No, it took more attempts for me, but it became easier because what I did was, since I was using the spear, I put the fire blade on it because I was like, fuck it, I'm burning this motherfucker. Once he starts burning, like, he's fucked. There's not much that he really does. And it was funny because for a second, because I was like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 attempts, some shit like that, because I was a couple of attempts in my mind, I had forgotten this guy needs to be alive because he's going to be in the first game. So when he leaves, I was like,
it
what the fuck?
It didn't even occur to me that was the, yeah. It didn't occur to me until post game when people were like, yeah, that's the green monster. Like after I beat him the rest of the game, I was like, we haven't fought him again. Where the fuck's he at? Like it never, I thought it was going to be like a pursuer type deal where we fight him and then we fight him again and then we fight him a final time. It didn't even fucking click that's the puppet devouring green monster at the end.
And to me, it clicked the instant he ran away. The first thought in my mind was like, oh, we're gonna fight him later. And then I was like, no, wait, because he's alive in Lies of P, so we're never gonna see him again until you actually face him.
We do fight him later.
Yeah, we do fight him later in the base game. But I thought that was an interesting touch. That monster, that one was a cool one. And then there's
cool little send back.
Then there was like my actual favorite boss fight. That was the one that I liked.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah, I forget what his name was, but yeah, I like that one. That one was fun. It's a big monster. You get like more angles of attack. You get more ways of dodging stuff. And see, that's the thing. That one is probably the least oppressive boss in the whole DLC. It's not a boss that's like constantly in your face, spamming you, not giving you a second. Like that boss, you can kind of like move away, regroup, re-engage. And that's, I feel like, why I like that one the most. It felt good to fight that one. Whereas the other ones, you just like come out of the fight every time between attempts. You're just frustrated because you're like, okay, I got to figure out his, not the first combo. I know that one. Not the second combo. I got to figure out the fifth one. Okay. So I got to go in there, do combo 1, combo 2, combo 3, and get all the way up to 5 so that I can learn that one. It's like, God fucking damn it. What was after that one? I forget. Oh, it was Lumakio.
Final boss.
No, Lumakio.
Oh no, yeah, Lumakio, yeah.
Lumakio.
I thought he was pretty easy. His phase transition.
I saw you fight him. Fuck you.
A couple times.
It's easy when you use puppet string. Fuck you, okay? It is not easy when you're not using puppet string. I promise you. That thing was miserable.
Sounds like a skill issue, to be honest.
I mean, maybe, but I shot his ass with the shotgun. Not
using the tools the game gave you. Also, his phase 1 was super easy, but phase 2, when he would first transition, he would just
He's
get
got
through
a
my health
mean
pool a couple of
transition,
times.
yeah.
Yeah, they're really big on transition combos in this game.
Yep.
What's up, kitty? So yeah, once I survived the transition combo though, I was like, all right, you're not that fucking bad. I can take you out.
I forget. I think I used shield on him. Yeah, that's when I started swapping the shield because I was like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm going to eventually just block you and murder you at some point. So, for instance, the transition was fucking me up. I wasn't being able to dodge it. And so I just went, okay, during transition, we're pumping out the shield, and then I'm going to go, and then we're going to fight properly. So I don't have to deal with the transition anymore. So that's kind of
that's
like
a good strat, though.
But what I really liked about it is that I got to kill Nioh again. I was like, listen, I killed you in Baldur's Gate 3, and now here we are again, and guess what's happening? You're dying again. I guess I'm curious to see what's the next game. I'm going to run into Nioh, and I'm going to see if I'm going to kill him a third time. He's awesome, but like, I don't forgive enemies. I'm assuming you killed him too. Yeah, you got what's coming.
Please just let me live. I was like, no.
No, of course not. That's not going to happen. What do you mean?
You're full of loot. I need you to die.
Then there's like, I don't know if it's a mini boss, that little shark thing. That thing was annoying as hell.
Oh, yeah. That was, see, I thought that was more annoying than the croc because it kept like diving under. And I'm like, all right, mother. Like, I went in and I'm fucking it up. And then it's like, I dive into the water and here I am. I dive back into the ice and here I am. And I'm like, all right, fucker, you got to stop. So you'd dive out, I'd puppet string and stun him, and then I'm like, fully charged heavy, fully fatal attack, fully charged heavy. And then you're like, I'm back in the ice. I'm like, no. We're not doing that shit again. Come here. But you could, if you got, I think it was like 3 or 4 perfect guards, you would be like, wow. And then you had time to just nuke him. So he wasn't that bad. He was just, the first encounter with him where he's like diving in the ice and diving out, I was like, you gotta fucking quit that. You're pissing me off here.
And then we finally fight Arlecchino. Bro,
yeah.
I did not think that I was gonna beat that thing.
Did you do it with Leia?
Of course. Fuck that shit. What do you mean, did I do it with Leia? I barely did it with Leia, let alone by myself. I don't think I would ever beat that thing by myself. That's absolutely insane. He's crazy.
Yeah, his phase transition wiped me like 3 or 4 times. And it was such a beautiful victory because I'm sitting there and like, I'm recording it on. I'm like, as soon as I survive this face transition, he's fucking cooked. I swear to God. And then like the next attempt, he goes to do the face thing, block a bunch of it. And then the finale of it where he's like spitting blood out everywhere. I just outrun it. And I'm like, you're my bitch now. Beat the shit down. Get him down to like 5%. He tries to do it again. I'm like, oh, no. We already know how to survive this bullshit.
Oh, you stopped him or did you survive it?
I just survived it.
Okay.
I just ran back,
so
same exact thing I did before. And then
I actually respect for this fight. I was like, no, I'm done because I've been saying it a bunch of times, and everybody in chat was always saying like, no, it's fine. I'm like, I hate the dodge in this game. The dodge in this game is garbage. It is garbage. It sucks. It's bad. And everybody's like, no, it's fine. And I was like, no, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to go and I'm going to get 30 capacity. See, now I can dodge. Look, I can dodge now. Now there's not a problem anymore. But basically, after I respect, I didn't know that there was going to be another ult near the end. So what I had been training was when he's doing his fucking transition bullshit. So first I block the skulls because I don't want to be like running around because I need to be in a certain position. Because if you're running, because you can avoid the skulls by running around. But if you do that,
or you could just parry them.
Yeah, you can parry them as well.
Yeah.
But if you run around to avoid the skulls, you can end up in a position where then he's going to corner you with a whirlwind, right? Because he does the whirlwind immediately afterwards. So I was like, okay, here's what we're doing. I'm going to block these skulls. Then I'm going to parry the attack where you're coming down. Then I'm going to run away from the whirlwind bullshit that eats through all of your health almost. And then I'm going to apply the perfect parry grindstone. And now I'm parrying everything. And then I'm dodging when the blood bullshit is coming. And that's how I had to do that phase.
You had a whole strategy for that.
Oh, yeah. Like, I did it so many times that I had it down to a science. So it was like the moment he stops, when he stops doing all of that, he wipes his hair back and all that. When he's doing that, I'm like, okay, loading the gun blade, bam, big shoot to the face. So it's like he does all that bullshit, and I'm like, okay, here's 3,000 damage, sir. That's what you get for all that fucking bullshit.
I can't wait to get that weapon.
Dude, that weapon is so good. It's like, listen, hands down.
I passed it on my Dex playthrough. I was like, well, it's just for the strength build. Okay, and I just ate it. And everyone's like, no, don't eat the ergo. And I'm like, I'm playing a technique build. I'm not going to use this.
No,
that's for the strength build to enjoy.
But that weapon is likely my favorite weapon in any Souls-like. I like it that much.
That's some high praise.
It is really good. Because, listen, Gunblade, like Final Fantasy VIII Gunblade, is the reason why I'm a Gunlance main. Because when my friend was reading me the weapons that I could play in game, he's like, Gunlance, and I was like, Gunlance? Like a Gunblade? I want that. I want that one. That's the one that I want. And so when I started playing with this weapon, it straight up has the animations from Final Fantasy VIII and Final Fantasy XIV. They're like, we don't give a fuck. This is not like something that looks like a gun blade. This is a gun blade, like actual
this
fucking.
Is a gun blade.
It's a gun blade,
yeah.
So you're like, you shoot with it. You do. Even the animations reminded me of like a Squall, right? Like straight up.
It's like,
he does the spin shit.
Yeah.
He does the stuff. So it's like it's straight up a gun blade from Final Fantasy to the point where Square Enix might be giving it the side eyes, like, hey, what the fuck are you guys doing over there in Korea, brother? The fuck is going on over here? What have you guys been smoking? You can't do that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I love that weapon. So the moment I got that weapon, I'm like, I'm beating everything with this weapon. I don't care if it's the best. I don't care if it deals the most
that's
damage.
That's the Hand of God boss that drops it, right?
I forget. I think it is. Yes, it was around that time that I got it. If it's not him, it's
because
shortly after that.
Lumakio doesn't drop a one. I don't remember.
No. I had the gunblade when I got to Lumakio. I fought him with the gunblade. So
it's got to be Hand of God.
So
it's either
Hand of God
last third of the DLC with
or
it.
shortly after Hand of God. But I think it might be the Hand of God guy. But yeah,
I mean, it's definitely a boss because I remember I ate the ergo.
Okay,
it was definitely a boss weapon.
Then it would be that one because that's when I got the weapon. But yeah, so and then the thing was after I do the thing where I parry and I blast him in the face with the gun blade and all of that. You know, we're finally getting into the final stages, and I'm trying to see if Leah can get more aggro while I'm just like trying to poke and prod. And then we get close to the end, motherfucker does it again, and I was like, I only have one perfect parry grindstone. So I'm like, all right, pull out the shield, block all the skulls. Here, I know how to do this part already. Block the parry, run away from the other thing, and then when he comes back in, parry this, block that, whole fuckload of dodges. And I was like, I lived, bitch! I lived. I'm still alive. And then I killed him.
Jesus.
But yeah, it was straight up, and it's the most hilarious thing because I've always said, and I will still say it, the dodge in this game fucking sucks, and I survived the final boss by panic rolling. Okay, it is what it is. But yeah, I killed him. Then I went around playing with the other weapons. That sword is anime as fuck. The sword that you get from the final boss, that is anime as fuck.
It's not very durable though. I noticed in the boss.
The gunblade's not very durable either. There were a lot of bosses where I had to like, this especially with Lumakio. Lumakio was the one where there was a part where it was I don't know if it was on the kill, but there was one attempt where I was literally going like shpting, shpting. I was parrying, sharpening, because it was about to break.
I got all the urgent repair tools loaded up already, so those will get plenty of use, I'm sure.
I used almost no consumables at all. It was actually funny because I didn't even remember what most of the consumables did. I think the one consumable I used was Legion magazine, so that I could get the shield back. That was it.
My main loadout is heal, Legion mag, and then emergency repair.
You don't have shot put? That's the thing that I saw everybody doing. It's like, I don't want to have to do a charge attack.
I put them on, but they unless you spec into it, you only have 3, so they end up running out pretty fast. And then on top of that, you're either shotgun or Puppet String. Both of those can replace a heavy charge to open them up for the fatal attack. So,
but yeah,
that's what I usually do. I'd get him and then I'd Puppet String, because fully charging the final boss weapon is like.
Oh yeah, you want to know something? You want to know something funny? When Arlecchino starts doing his combos, they are so fast you don't have enough time to put up the shield. You literally can't block those with the shield. If he hits you with one, if he hits you with one, it's like, no, you got to block with your weapon. Shield's done. There's nothing you can do with it. I was like, really? Fucking.
So you'd have to just preemptively pull it out.
Yeah, yes. if you don't pull it out,
I barely touched
done.
The shield at all.
Yeah.
Just because, well, strength suffers from mobility. So even though it's more of a technique thing, Puppet String was invaluable in the strength playthrough.
Oh yeah,
that was like my main way of
dealing
breaking
damage
them and opening for a fatal attack. Yeah. Especially anything that's fast, like the dogs at the start of the DLC, for example. I was like, I can't swing my weapon.
You were dying to those
enough.
Dogs yesterday, just yesterday.
Dude. I was like, I can't swing my fucking weapon quick enough for these things. I need an alternative here. This is wild.
Yeah, it's a lot of
that
them
was the
are
biggest
very
threat.
Fast. Yeah,
that's the biggest threat in my strength playthrough is the 3 dogs. I was just like, oh, fuck away from me.
But see,
I can't hit you quick enough. Go away.
That's why I wanted the rocket spear, because it projects you forward a little bit. So even though it's slow, you start the movement further back and then you charge in. When the gun blade does the same thing. So that's kind of how I got around that. I'm like, I'm charging in from further back and then hitting you. And the way the gun blade works is just so good, because you do that, and then when you shoot, the recoil shoots you back again. And then you do another heavy, and your character charges in and attacks again. And there's combos. Man, it actually has combos between light and heavies. Like your lights and heavies, you can get like different results.
Like light shoot.
You can
Final Fantasy style, where you're weaving in the gunshots.
Yeah. So you can go like, say you do, I forget if it's like 1 hit and then heavy attack. I think it's actually 2. So you do 2 hits, and then you do a heavy, and your heavy goes and does like this slash down burst, shoots you back, and then you can go into a charged attack on the back, and it's crazy. I loved it. It was such a cool weapon, and it's fairly simple once you get it down, but it just feels really good to play. But yeah, it was.
Wait, I'm gonna get it tomorrow.
It was fun. I'm still have a love-hate relationship with Lies of P, but it is what it is. What else you got going? What's happening to you next on the channel?
That's Shredding 2. That's about it. Yeah, that's gonna gobble up probably a month until we get to Wu Chang, and then that'll be a month until we get
Wu
to
Chang Fallen Feathers. Did you play that already? By the way, I didn't play the demo. I know they had a demo at some point.
I didn't see the demo. I think it was just like a on-site demo.
No. There was a Steam demo. I remember seeing people play it. Yeah, there was a Steam demo at some point. I didn't check it out. I didn't have time.
Yeah, I didn't even know about it. Otherwise, I probably would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, and I mean, it's a pretty chill summer, all things considered. But we have, like, there's definitely a steady stream of releases coming out, because after we get through Death Stranding, we got Wu Chang like right towards the end of July, and then once we get into August, the Lost Soul Aside is at the end of August, and Snake Eater also at the end of August, and then we got Hell Is Us coming in September.
Yeah, I want to play Hell Is Us. I'm thinking
I'm gonna try the new Silent Hill. I hope I have more fun with it, because the last one I just did not vibe with.
Silent Hill is not really my thing.
Ghost of Yotai coming out at start of October.
Yeah, I want to do Ninja Gaiden. I want to do Final Fantasy. I'm just concerned with Final Fantasy being so close to Hell Is Us, because I definitely want to do Hell Is Us. I think that one's going to be...
Final Fantasy? Well, Hell Is Us is start of September. Tactics is end of September.
I thought... Oh, I misread that. I thought it was October for Hell Is Us. Never mind.
No,
I should have enough time.
October is Ghost of Yotai, right at the start of October.
That's the one. I knew that there was something that was going to dick me over on Tactics.
Yeah, there's that, and then Ninja Gaiden 4, October 21st, and then once we get into November, I'll be chilling. But yeah, there's a pretty. You
still have Outer Worlds 2 if you're covering that. I don't know if you're covering Outer Worlds 2. I don't
know. The first one I tried, and it just...
You didn't like it?
Didn't really... No, not particularly. But I mean, to be fair, I also like I've never really been a big Fallout fan. I lean more into fantasy. It was the same thing with like Starfield. Like I played it,
Oh.
but I was just like, eh.
You want to hear the
I just
funniest? You want to hear the funniest Fallout story? First time I played Fallout 4, I get to the.
Okay.
Did you ever play it?
Yeah, no, I beat it.
Okay, so you know that part where you finally meet your kid and he's a full-grown man and all of that shit. I was like, I
Mhm.
don't believe you. I shot him right in the face. Like I finished talking to him, shot him right in the face. And then I go to save the other kid that was there, that was like the decoy or whatever. It's like, and everybody in chat was like, no, that was actually your son. I was like, I don't believe you guys. That's not my son. I shot him right in the face.
Jesus Christ, Ray.
It's fucked up. Oh, man. Anyway, guys, there's going to be links to Cowboy's channel in the description of this, so make sure to check them out for all of the good stuff that we were just talking about. Now, there's definitely going to be more Night Rain, at least from me, because I'm still addicted to that game. I finally finished all the Remembrances, and I'm still just having a blast. That game is so much fun. It is way more fun than what I expected.
Doing solo runs while I wait for Death Stranding 2, because there's like a week till Death Stranding 2, so I'm just doing it.
All
I'm
of
going
them?
1 through 8. Yeah, so like Wilder versus Tricep, and then Guardian versus
Gaping Jaw.
Gaping, and then Iron Eye versus whatever the third one was, and then Duchess versus Augur. The Guardian versus Gaping Jaw, bro. That was because your guard does nothing against his grab. That fight, like, let me hold up. I'm just gonna send you a screenshot of like the final frame of that fight, just so you can see. Just so you can see how low my health was.
This is why Guardian is the best. He doesn't need health.
I don't think there was health.
I mean, the magic pixel is all you need. That's
literally, this is the definition of the magic pixel.
It almost looks like you had a cheat death.
It does. I was like, dude, how the fuck?
It's it's actually been interesting playing Guardian today again, because I finally did all of the remembrances. So I'm like, I'm free now. I can just play Guardian. And I think that with the changes that they've done, they've put more when you're walking in tower shields. So like when you're walking, you do this thing, because whenever Guardian's in his stance, you're always walking. So like on the 2 runs that I did with Guardian,
you get like the Violent Deluge and the Frenzy Flame, and the Dragon.
On one of them I had lightning, and on the other one I had something else, but I always had something, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then on one of those attempts, I actually had 2 things, and we were doing the final boss. And it seems like they finally fixed aggro when you're guarding, because we were doing the final boss, and the boss barely targeted anybody else. I was just like, yep, this is great. Boss is just hitting me, taking all those spells and all that shit, and I'm just like sitting there, yes, the tank fantasy. It's the tank life for me. And my friend was just like literally free casting the whole fight. Like he was just like, yep, discus of light, free casting the whole fight.
I'm curious to see how the next 2 go, because I'll have to do Revenant versus Dark Drift, which if I can find like Lightning Spear, I think I'll be able to handle that. But he's pretty aggressive.
Revenant Dark Drift's gonna be rough. And who's for the final boss?
Executor. So that's easy. He's clapped.
Oh, Executor. Yeah, Executor will get him.
I keep saying Executor, and everyone's like, it's Executor, and I'm like, all right, fine.
It's Executor. No, I don't think it's actually Executor. I'm pretty sure it's Executor.
I call him Executor.
Because Executor would be if he was an executioner, but he is not an executioner.
Yeah.
It's Executor.
So yeah, Guardian Gaping Jaw was rough. Iron Eye Sentient Pest I threw, but I kept the run because it was too funny. So I had a fire bow, and then cleared mountain, and I got Red Giant's giant braids. And I get to the end, and he's like, "Ran!" I'm like, "I'm gonna fucking cook," and I'm chunking like 20% of his health through per Red Giant's blast. and it's like I need one more to do it, and I'm like, how do you like my fire? I'm just literally standing and spamming it, and like as I hit the button to queue it up, I see the orbital laser start above me, and so I'm like, how do you like my fire? Oh, I'm dead, and it's wow, and he's like 10 HP. I'm just sitting there like, wow. I could have marked. I could have just shot like 3 arrows. That was the throw of the century.
It's like the StarCraft sound. You're doing your thing, and then suddenly you hear nuclear launch detected.
Yeah, that's what it was. Duchess versus Augur, I had the most ridiculous pull through. I got also had Mountaintop. I had Mountaintop for like the last 3 runs. I wish they would cycle shifting Earth events more.
Yeah,
for
they
Duchess,
do need to
I
do
ended
that.
up. I got fucking Radon Greatbow and a Dragon King Cragblade. So I'm just running around as Duchess pop shotting with Radon Greatbow, and every time it was stunned, I would Dragon King Cragblade. Raider versus Libra, that was easy. Raider just interrupts all of his bullshit.
Because you can bust all of his stuff. You know they've increased the amount of times that you can get madness weapons now. I actually had a madness weapon against Libra.
I saw that, yeah.
I think what it does on Libra is it makes him go into rage mode when you trigger madness.
Yeah, well, it also interrupts him for like 3 seconds, so it's just free DPS window.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Recluse versus Frosty Boy should be easy. If I can find like a Rykard's Rancor or something, he's fucked. And then Executor versus Final Boss. The only thing is there's not really a good holy katana, so I might have to like starting armament holy.
So I don't think you need a good holy katana. What does holy even do in the final boss?
Debuffs him. Debuffs both his attack damage and his defense. On top of the fact that it deals 35% more damage in phase 1 and then 20% more in phase 2.
Yeah, but that doesn't pass to your cursed weapon if you're standing there parrying him. It doesn't mean anything.
That is true. That is true. Maybe I'll just cursed weapon and call it a day.
Yeah. So it's like, who cares? But yeah, guys, that'll be it for this podcast. We'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong. Stay safe. Peace out.